Nobody here.
I think it just started with that. That's gonna be awesome. What did you just click on?
I don't know what. Let's get away from that. What is going on? I'm like,
I don't know what's going on here.
there's like new buttons and stuff. I don't.
Let me see. Let me refresh my
There we
screen over
go.
here.
Oh, that's better.
All right, it's private. That's what we've done here. We're gonna make it click.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't see another chat
Publish?
option.
All right, I think I've done this a little differently tonight, so we'll see if this is gonna work right.
You've done something. I don't know what
I've done something.
Comments.
Go see if this is up now.
All right, I'll go look. Let me go take a look at that. See if it alerts me. Gives me a notification.
Did you get a notification?
Yep, I did. Hey, there we are. It alerts me.
All right.
Gives me a notification.
Oh, I hear you.
Wow.
All right, so good. That's working. I am not going to run anything on that side if you could run it because I'm trying to save the bandwidth. Last night it was a little bit at the end. I felt bad. In fact, Destroyer Eric, if you're around tonight and want to come on, that'd be great. Oh, that's another thing I want to do. Can you put the link in the deal, or do you want to send, or do you want to vet links as you go? I know you're kind of a big guy.
I don't care what you want to do. This is your show, bud.
Oh yeah.
You want the link up there? I'll put the link up there.
Yeah, throw the link up there. And then
all right, let me see if I can figure this out.
We'll see what the worst is that happens.
I think all it is this, right? I mean, boom.
Nope. You should.
YouTube doesn't support comments on private.
What?
YouTube does not support comments on private videos. Create a public or unlisted broadcast to show comments from your viewers.
Well, we shouldn't be private. I thought I updated that.
Well, maybe I need to get out and get back in. Maybe the StreamYard no likey.
Yeah, let me know because
here, one second. I'll be back.
Yep. Oh, he's gone. He gone. Well, somebody's here. Is comments working for anyone? You let me know in the comments. That may or may not be working. I didn't think about that part. Oh, he's back.
Things. Just. Nope. YouTube does not support comments on a private video.
Oh, we might have ruined it for ourselves.
I mean, it's up. It's doing things. 3 watching, but no ability to comment back to them.
That's going to be...
So I can read comments. I can put comments over here. I have admin rights over there as well. So
you can see the comments on the actual YouTube, or we just can't on
StreamYard? We can't on StreamYard. So
did you I'm going to leave the studio and come back real quick. Hold on.
Cool.
Or is that what you just did?
I went all the way out and came back in. So
did you open a whole new window or no?
I bet sure.
Oh.
And I'm alone. I'm alone. All alone. Do. Whoa. This guy's got a lot of people watching over here. And he's back.
Try it now. Is it working?
Oh yeah, there you fixed it.
Hey, there's a setting in StreamYard I had to go back out and fix. You learn something new every day, folks.
Yep, there it is. It's over there now, and it's doing the things. And
now you can paste the deal.
Okay.
All right. I need some acetone.
Acetone.
Some acetone.
There we go. Seems right. Get rid of that. Over here.
There it is.
We gotta do some YouTube, some stuff. What we got in the chat? Oh, Fox can fix it in here.
Hey, Fox, what's up, brother? So has anyone else, I know you and I have talked, but has anyone in the chat that does any short stuff seen any shorts money?
Yeah.
Yesterday's.
I've seen a spike in things. I don't know how to read it, but
neither do I. Well, I actually was able to see what shorts made what. Did you go look at that?
I can't look at things.
You're gonna make me walk you through doing that again. Well, it's a little bit different.
I'm in
so,
revenue. I'm in analytics revenue. So I go content type.
See more.
So shorts is making nothing.
Well, that's not where you go by the videos. Here, hold on. Let me get you there. Right. So go to. Oh, that's a terrible spot for that.
Dashboard.
Yeah, you want to go to analytics.
Go to analytics.
And then you want to go to
estimated revenue.
Yep. And then you click on see more down there underneath the graph.
Yep.
And then it breaks it down by videos. And you can see, if you go down to the last 7 days, it'll be real easy.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can see, what are the shorts that actually have dollar amounts.
That's funny. So my long format are actually making more money. And I don't have any that are
You don't have any long format. Well, here's the thing. Your long format has 7 days of revenue. You need to look at the short that's only 1 day of revenue because they haven't updated for day 2.
True.
So you're looking at 1 day of revenue compared to 7 days of potential. Well, it has to be because you haven't put any.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's my 1 day. So everything's at wow, that's actually.
Yeah. I'm sure it's not terrible for 1 day.
No.
Put it in that perspective. Here we go.
It's like 75 cents on a bunch of videos per video.
That's not bad. I mean, especially if you're running multiples. So
$1 a day? I'll take $1 a day.
The three I put up on that day that I have numbers for that all did around like 3,000. I think was their average of mine across the 3. I think was like 30 cents per or something like that, maybe.
I earn anywhere from 60 to 70 cents per.
Yeah, no, I'm not quite there.
I'll take it. Sounds like money.
All right, so I'm gonna stick some of this together. Yesterday's attempts were unsuccessful.
What are you doing there?
Oh, it's all pennies, Fox.
Whole burner.
I was trying to do this here, and then things got away, and then this is stand up, so
I don't.
That's awesome.
I don't agree with your inability just because it's stand up.
Have you tigged before?
I don't need to tig to know that that's wrong.
No shit, bud. No one is trying to sell that as a passable weld around here. Okay, it was never in question.
The definition of weld is to stick 2 pieces of metal together. So
okay, well, in that definition, it
officially met the definition of weld.
Yeah, it's not going to fall off of its own volition. That's for sure.
Its own things. I need to go do a Craigslist live where I just talk about cars.
No. I actually have been talking about this the last couple of lives, but what you and I need to do is get you to knock out the old StarNet link freaking saga.
We do.
That does another thing. I also need to shoot that other stuff and send it to you. You keep reminding me that I never actually do.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. So this is the part.
Let's see. What should I name this video?
Bear chassis.
General Motors didn't want you to know. I don't know. Seems like a good title.
Can I put this on like this?
Oh, keyboard clicky is that?
Oh. How's the audio now?
Fine.
Okay, because
a welding helmet on.
I've got quite the jank setup going right now with my headset and this helmet.
Fine. Sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay. Chances are pretty good I'll be able to weld like this.
Fox, I don't know what you imply if we're going to go there. We were there tonight, like 2 be part of it, I guess. I don't know.
To be part of what?
Garage trivia with Bryce.
Oh, the after party thing? Yeah.
No. To be on there, I think is what he's asking.
Oh, to be a guest on there.
Yeah.
Like on the panel, I guess is what.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. My schedule's not. I can't lock my down schedule like that.
Yeah, man, I'm such a busy guy.
It's not that I'm necessarily busy. I'm just all over the place.
It's called busy.
I feel reluctant to use that term.
Busy implies you're doing something. I don't know how this camera is going to like the welding, so we'll see.
You'll have to let me know.
Yeah, it just goes all blank.
What'd it do?
Burn the lens. No, it's fine.
Did it?
It's actually doing a really good job of showing it off.
Good.
It's like really good, actually. I'm really impressed. As long as it doesn't screw the camera up, you'll be fine.
Well, we're about to find out. Oh, that was doo-doo.
I can see you're doing horribly right now.
All right, well, I'm glad we're all freaking on board with that.
I mean, I'm probably seeing how bad this is better than you are.
I probably should. Oh, I've been in it too long, so I should be done by now.
Group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was perfect video.
It's actually not. Okay, it's not.
It's not horrible.
I was.
Are you overlapping or are you butt welding? What are you doing there?
Just overlapped.
Okay.
Nothing special. I'll show it to you.
So what's ground in that other than the table?
The table.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the ground is on the table over there, and there's just grounded clean right here.
Okay. You ever tried tacking it to the table and seeing if it gives you a better weld?
Oh no, I have not tried that yet.
It's not terrible. It got better at the end there.
Yeah, once I leaned into it a little bit, got a little comfortable. Well, there's something I cold started into a weld like that I probably should have started on some other bowl.
Mm-hmm.
First weld of the day, I probably shouldn't have just went into it. But it's torch time. That's the whole point of this. All right. I've got a piece of hair in my eyes.
Well, it's probably connected to the rest of your head. That's
listen. Oh, that little guy.
Ooh.
That's the elevator.
Oh, I'm aware of what it is.
Yeah, you know the layout. You know what's going on.
Just my ears. They're very aware of what it is too.
Headphone warning.
Headphone warning. What are we looking at right now? Are we building a scrap boomerang? Like,
yeah.
Scrap-a-rang. I can hear the gas. Ooh. Bright.
Pretty colors. Yeah, you can hear
getting
this.
Warm. Gold inverter's getting happy.
Little fans.
Twirl it more.
Think so? I don't know.
Draw some ease.
At this point, oh!
Burn! Too hot.
I got too close to the edge and she just burned back.
I flew metal, I mean.
Oh, it is real thin, yeah. Well, that's the thing.
You were running a hot bead. I mean.
Oh, yeah. Just laying her in there. Oh, is CP on right now? I just got a notification. But I don't know if it's from a live or if it's from like a video from another day. It just decided I needed to know about it now.
Let me see here. Let me see. I got Eye Spider. I got 2 hacks. I got you. I got Pole Barn.
Oh wow! On right now.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of lives going. I don't see CP though. So.
Right. Yeah, just I don't know. I don't really pay. You know me. I don't really pay attention to what's going on. But I know CP normally does one, but. The other night,
he hasn't. He didn't do one last weekend. I don't see.
Well, that's what he said last week. He didn't do one, and when I was talking to him the other night, I had him on. He didn't know. I don't know if he didn't know if he was going to do a Friday or he was talking about. He said something about it, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah. At their best.
And I figure if we were, if they were taking a little intermission between over there, we'd come over here and do some welding. All right, well, now that I've screwed both of those away, I feel like it's time to try and redeem myself here and fill in this disaster, if it's even possible.
Oh wow, that isn't even. Go back to the scrapperang. That TIE fighter over there. What are we doing? We're just gonna.
I don't know. I was trying to get it in a way that gravity wasn't gonna suck so bad.
Did you try to weld on the backside of that too?
No, that's just where
That's penetration.
When the puddles collapsed, I got warm, man. What's happened?
Oh.
I mean, it was sometimes.
That's some skill right there. I mean, I've seen skill, but you got something right there.
To be able to just melt through it. I love the guy who is not ever actually tigged. Anything.
Well, that's how I can make fun of you right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I have no dog in this game.
You are the pony. All right.
That's crooked and ugly.
None of it was supposed to be straight. It was all about the beads, bud.
I mean, maybe start with straight lines and go from there. Just saying.
When you come here, I'm gonna make you freaking take something on a live.
All right. I better get to practicing.
No, yeah, I know. No practice.
Well, you're just. I'm buying a welder. Why'd you buy that TIG machine? I got a live to do in 2 months.
No, not all the way. Well, it depends. I'm watching the puddle, Ryan, and trying to learn to weld.
No,
I know.
So what he's doing, Ryan, is he's got too thin a steel, and he's just sending it like he does with his MIG welder, and then expecting it not just to poop out everywhere.
That is not exactly.
I'm pretty sure you're full power in it over there.
No, it's only set to 160 right now.
How low does it go?
It'll go lower, but 160 is more than this needs. But it'll go up to 210. I mean, yeah.
She's getting hot. You can always tell.
Oh, she'll get hot. Well, it has to get hot in order. You know, it's welding. You know that, right?
I'm pretty sure I could solder that together. Just stick in there. Come on, show it. Show us.
Straight up and down is hard.
Seems like too much heat. See, Fox agrees.
You know what? It probably is too much heat.
Concentrate. You can do it. Yeah, see, Jesse's like 160 is too high. That's what I thought.
Yeah, but I'm obviously I'm pedaling down.
But you're staying in it the whole time. That extra heat.
Well, I guess I don't understand because if I'm pedaling out. You don't get the whole amp. The pedal gives me more and less.
You're not holding her straight to the floor the whole time.
No, I have a whammy pedal here, man. It lets me.
You're already been in it too long. It's too hot.
Well, I'm trying to fill a hole now at this point.
All right.
It's come down to, can I fill that giant hole?
Give it the rod. Come on, stick more of it in there. That's how you fill the hole. You're just about to fill the hole with the metal above it.
Listen, I'm an artiste over here crafting a blob of material.
I'm making bookends. My leather wrapped books.
Made me laugh, and I almost dipped the freaking tungsten.
So many leather wrapped books.
Oh yeah, no, this thing is hot. I'm watching the freaking metal lift off the table anyway because it's not clamped or anything.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's another thing. You're not clamped. You're grounding to the table. This thing's probably just like, Yeah,
don't worry about any of that.
It's free running it.
I'm just playing over here, boys.
I mean, I'm just gonna say you probably want to clamp it to the table at the minimum for proper ground.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. She does a good job of.
Fox says you're taking an ashtray from Mom over there.
Yeah. Listen.
Sorry, Fox. He'll have to stop.
My mom is going to be so proud of this.
She's going to be so proud that she quit smoking.
Yeah. She's going to wish she did one. Never mind. I don't think you can make that joke anymore.
No, I don't think you can.
No. Yeah, we all knew what was about to happen there.
Mom, what are you doing? Or this is how we run puddles.
Who? Oh. No. was it. I can't say that anyone is surprised by that. Listen, I am making a cake right now. Currently, I am just laying the icing on this bad boy.
Something like that.
Look,
how are you creating more hole as you fill the hole?
No, that's
that's original hole.
Like, yeah, I didn't.
Okay, go the other way so we can see how much of that mound is coming out.
Look at the bow.
No, yeah, I know the bow because
you're. Oh yeah, no, it's under. It's undercut in the back. Oh yeah,
clamp it down, turn down your heat, get a better ground. Like, what are you doing?
You killed it. I'm trying to. I destroyed
this
metal
last night.
Dog. You know, this was last night's problem. I'm just playing with it at this point.
Teak, in and out. Come on. We're just laying beads.
Don't show people that. Listen, this is art. I made something.
It hangs. He accomplished making hot metal.
I have done all of. It's a hot dog catcher.
It's one of those. It's a holder for tacos.
It's a taco. It's a turbine fin. Oh yeah,
turbine fin. I mean, not balanced, but I mean, it'll spin.
It's gonna do something, right?
For a little while. I mean, it's all about RPMs.
I feel like at that point it's gonna be some sort of weapon at certain RPM. You know what I mean? It's just gonna go out of there.
You're making the weapons. I'm joining the other side.
Listen, it might be dangerous, just as dangerous for everyone involved. I'm just saying.
I'm going to say this up front, Fox. If he's building another Volvo and he has to TIG it together, I wouldn't ride it.
Listen. Yeah, new metal, new dreams, disappointments. Listen, I get it. My thing is, if I'm just playing with this on here, what's the worst?
What's the worst? You can get better. I mean,
yeah. It's just gonna learn how to push puddles around and play.
By the way, if you didn't notice, I'm just gonna roast you about this the whole time.
It's not a Toyota next. No, we're stuck in Can-Am for the next project. We're gonna stay off road.
Wasted made AKs 1 through 46.
I was so close. Just almost got it.
Shorts, trucks. I'm gonna use hashtag trucks.
So what's the inside on tomorrow's shorts? Well, dudes, what are we getting? Yo, hey, look. So after seeing that last pile of garbage, that one doesn't look as bad.
You better just leave that one off to the side as like I'm gonna bring this back around when I do next horribleness.
This is my
clamp it down. I mean,
I don't have any. Well, I do have regular clamps, I guess, but I don't have any. These are 3/4-inch holes, and the only people that make a clamping system for 3/4-inch hole is Fireball Tools, and they just started doing it.
Yeah, I assumed that table was obsolete for clamps.
Well, it's not for that kind of.
You own a welder. You can make your own clamps. You know that, right?
Lots of things.
I mean,
I didn't care that much for
some all thread, a little piece of angle iron. Like, you got to clamp.
Logan Russell, what's up, brother? How's it going?
I don't know who Logan Russell is. Hello, Logan.
He's been in a couple of the Side of the Mountain lives, I believe.
Logan, he's working on getting better at life right now. I mean, once he accomplishes TIGging, he's top of the mountain. He's made it. He's officially somebody.
That's where my plateau is up there.
That's top bar.
Yeah.
We all know he's not going to get there. But
yeah, make your own clamps, but I don't know. Just weld it to the table. I mean,
yeah, that's what I said.
I just tack this whole thing to the table.
Just tack one piece of the metal to the table. You'll get a better ground. It won't move around. You won't get the warp. The warp's messing you up already. I can tell you that.
You think so?
That's why you use clamps.
Shit's warped before it got on the table. Let's not kid ourselves here. There's about as much. It's exactly what it is. It's a new retirement hobby.
Because no one's paying him to do this.
Oh no, I wanted to learn to TIG weld. Now I will say the aluminum seems to have been it's a lot easier.
Oh yeah. Do you have any air blowing around you?
No.
That's gonna mess up your gas.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything. I mean, other than the fact it's cold and air moving normal, but there's no we're inside, no fans. Got good flow. Gas line set up on it right now. 8 cup. Let's see here. Let's see if I can't do something. How is that? Did I just drag the mic across the plastic for you?
That's fine. Yeah, not as bad as that elevator.
Oh, the elevator's worse? Good enough.
Oh, way worse. I don't know. Where's Gary at?
He went up on the elevator. That's why we don't have a Gary anymore.
Oh, that's... Get a small step ladder. The physically abled should be able to use a ladder to make that leap.
He was going to the top floor.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm just going to do what you said. Oh, actually, no, I dipped this last time. That's right. You
yeah, you might want to grind that.
Yeah, I totally need to grind that. I just looked down on it. I was like, oh, no.
That isn't going to work.
No. Got all set up, and no. Can't do nothing. It's pretty screwed. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not good.
Pretty bad. I watched it stick. They don't just come bounce back from that. Not sure you can just add more heat and that goes away.
I mean, it's not the... Where is it? Let me see it. It's not
He's grinding it with a little... Show him how you grind it. He wants to see it.
The grinder?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Grind that tip.
Hopefully I won't mess it up today. Where is... There it is.
He does have a fancy grinder for it because, he knows at his level that fancy grinder was required.
No, I know that there was
Milwaukee.
I knew there was no way I was getting... So this is just a Milwaukee Dremel, essentially.
Okay, it's a head.
And then it has just a head that goes on it.
All right. I just thought you were getting real fancy with us and be like, look, I bought this Milwaukee tungsten tip grinder.
Well, I mean, so technically, yes, because these guys sell this setup right here for an absorbent amount of money with one battery and a freaking charger and this head on it. And it comes in its own little bag that they do, and it's worked with Milwaukee. And then I bought this on sale with 2 batteries and then bought this for half the price. It was...
Makes sense. I agree with that purchase.
Yeah.
Because it's a multi. I mean, it's better than just owning... That's loud. There we go. All right, he's grinding it. He's putting it in the hole, everybody. I don't know what he's doing. I thought he just had to stick it in the hole. He's turning it.
So that was to part off the bit that was messed up, because what you don't want to do is take that's been covered in whatever the crap is and then grind it into your disc.
Oh, yeah. Because then it gets all the particulates.
Yeah, and then as you heat this up and the longer you run it, the more the tungsten actually fractures, and that's part of the reason why you grind it the way it does. So you got to part it, and so it's got a little parting. You can kind of see the wheel there, right about here.
Okay.
You see a little shiny part. So you just kind of line it up in the hole here, and it's a diamond wheel in there. It just kind of parts it off. The thing we got to watch though, sometimes the piece goes down in there, and that's big time unfortunate.
I mean, compressed air sounds like it would fix that problem. And we're grinding again. I think this is a useful tool. I can only count to 9. Oh, one of the digits. Sleepy. That's me. I'm sleepy. Is he done yet?
Yeah, just got it. So,
all right, looks good.
Yeah. So, rounded on it, a little blunt. We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, I knew there was no way that I was going to do this with, because they're There's people that have been doing this for years that could totally do it with a drill and a freaking what are those not the angle, bench grinder.
Bench. I don't know if I'd be doing it with a bench grinder. Bench grinder would definitely mess it up.
Listen, they're old timers. They'll just do it, and you're just like, "Wow, bud, okay." But I guess after long enough, you can do it that way. I knew I was not going to be doing it that way anytime soon.
I guess.
You know. All right. What am I trying to do here? Stick this back together the rest of the way. Make it not look like crap. Was that the goal?
Watch as Mr. Blas. I don't know how to pronounce that word, Fox. I'm sorry. I'm ruining the joke. Pickle Brand shows you how to properly sharpen pickle spears. God, how do you say that word? Vlasic. There it is.
Vlasic.
Jeez, Vlasic pickles. You're that? You're the pickler now.
I could be a pickler.
Oof.
All right, let's see. Oh, there goes the rod.
I was a part-time pickler. That's how I acquired 2 children.
Got out of the business after that?
Yep. Too much effort. Come here.
All right, let's tack this to the table then.
It's the derps. Watch the welding, derps. Oh, wow, that is shiny. Oh, she is interested.
Meow. Meow. All right. Let's see what happens.
Send it. Oh, shiny. You seeing that, Kiki? Nope, looking away.
Look away, Kiki, look away.
Stop trying to knock things over. God.
I didn't see it, but I heard it.
Yeah. I knew that was going to happen when she walked back there. The things happened.
Okay. I don't hate that. Oh, there goes the hood. I really need to get some, I hate in-ear headphones. I really do.
Yeah.
But for this particular
venture,
I'm not going to lie to you. Some of that I don't hate. But unfortunately now I can't bring it to you because I tacked it to the table.
Oh, you actually did what was asked. All right, cool.
I did, yeah. Listen.
You stupid little brat cat.
Just automatically assumed I didn't.
Oh, I didn't hear you say you were gonna.
Yeah. All right, so I worked it from
this way better
side over. So this was the first run of the day. And then I went and screwed around on the thing everyone skewered me for. And then this is coming warped. Back. Oh, yeah, it was already, I think, hot and warped to begin with. But, yeah, it's too thin for what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get some puddle control and bead and...
Turn.
Stick time, man.
Down.
But you have to get it hot to a certain point to melt the metal.
It will melt. You just stay there a little longer with lower temp. It'll be fine. It gives you a little more time to learn what you're trying to do. Right now,
if I want to do that, I can cheat and put the pulse on it. I mean, with the pulse, exactly. Just hammer it back to shape.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Because I was playing with the pulse earlier, and I was, able to do it pretty quickly, and I was like, this has got to be cheating somehow. So I'm doing it without the pulse.
Okay. You know what I mean? Oh, Jesse says that metal will melt with a lighter now.
Now or
before?
Yeah. No, it would. So I could go even lighter, you said. Okay, well, how far? What should I set the machine?
Set it all the way down. That is not that heavy a steel.
All the way down, huh?
Don't you have a metal gauge?
All the way down.
What does your metal gauge chart tell you?
10 amps is what I can go down to.
I'm going to ask you this seriously.
What now?
You have a metal gauge, right?
I do.
So gauge your metal, look at the chart, and set the welder.
This is 16. Well, what chart? There's no chart on the machine that tells me what.
Okay, what's your gauge? 16 gauge.
Yep, 16. I think there's an app for this for Miller now. It doesn't have a chart in the machine anymore.
Really?
There's an app for that.
TIG welding calculator. Go back, start over 1. What metal are you welding? Aluminum dioxide.
Phone.
18 gauge or thicker. You'll be able to use it. That's MIG. We're ticking. Come on now.
All right, let's see here.
Here we go. Here's a chart.
Miller. TIG.
Diameter, thickness. A different chart. Give me a different chart. Cup size 810. This is not giving me gauges. Joint. Oh, it changes it with the joint type. Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing now.
Current ranges.
Yeah, because their little app doesn't really give me anything. It gives me, argon ranges and stuff like that if I wasn't using a gas lens.
Okay, 16 is a 16th. That's what I thought. All right. So we got that. So thicker is better.
Google it. It says 8 heat B speed 3.
There you go.
I just made that up, is what he said.
Seems right.
Dude,
Send it.
Sounds perfect.
Sounds professional.
But yeah, that definitely got a little warm.
Yeah, got a lot warm.
But I mean, did it though? Because this is really thin and it only went that far.
So it says cup size should only be 4, 5, or 6 on this chart.
Well, I'm using a gas lens, not a.
Oh, so gas lens is 5 to 10.
So I'm using an 8 right now with a 336.
Yeah, so you're good there.
That's only gauge matches up with 16.
Why does it say that? I don't understand these charts. I don't understand anything about TIG welding because these charts don't even make any sense.
Thank you very much. Now you know I'm just out here winging it. You're over here talking shit.
So it says amperage range 20 to 45.
20 to 45. All right. So I'll set it at 45 and we can pedal between the two.
What are you at now?
Right now, I just set it to 45. 160 was my higher end. So it's all that is that allows me where my pedal range is and gives me a little, I can go like full throttle and then back off just a little bit. Whereas at 160, I was only doing like half throttle, if that, you know what I mean? I have full control of the number with the pedal. Is this one cooled down? Oh yeah. Yeah, you could like touch that. See, that didn't really get all that hot because over here, it still wasn't the end of the world.
Which side was attached to the table in the ground?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
But this was the furthest part away from where I, was doing things.
Doing things. Okay.
Okay, Fox, I get it. I might have been still too hot. This guy with the math check over here.
Hey, just saying. I mean, I ain't no professional TIG welder. I mean, Fox is. He knows.
All right. Well, shoot. Whatever.
See, I keep forgetting that I can change the thumbnail on my video, but I have to do it at a certain time. And then I'm like in here like, I want to change the thumbnail, and I can't. It's good.
Oh, on the shorts and shit?
Yeah, I got to re-upload the whole thing if I want to fix the thumbnail. And I'm not doing that.
Yeah, a little too much on the back burn there. Going too slow, too hot.
Well, that's why if you turn her down, you can go a little slower.
Listen, that's what we're going to figure out.
You're going to weld like a... You're going to weld like a pro. Here.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
You might want to hit that side with a hammer a little bit before you start.
Oh, my God, you're so... Gotta hit everything with a hammer, make it all perfect and whatnot. Oh, what kind of welding do you think we do around here?
By the way, Fox, passing math for the Marines online course with a C, you're doing really well for a Marine. I mean, come on now. That is the wrong hammer for this action, but hey, hammer's a hammer.
We're doing big things here, people.
Yeah, we're using framing hammers to beat on metal.
Oh, I wouldn't even call that little thing a framing hammer. What do we think? Like that? Yeah, I think I can get down with that angle.
Angle it.
Oh, man.
Send it.
Huh?
We've been harassing you for 40 minutes now. Show us a good weld.
I don't believe you'll be seeing that right now, but we'll see.
Right.
I have listened to your inputs of the group
and changed the input
and done that one thing.
One thing could potentially fix everything.
Well, we're gonna find out, aren't we? I don't remember once saying that I knew what I was doing.
There you go, right there. Well, he's keeping his welding in the frame, so why not use a framing hammer? There you go.
Hey. All right, let's see if I can take this back off here.
Shorts. No, that did not go live. Okay. I almost had a heart attack there for a second.
All right, we'll see.
All right, ready to go.
Still not sold. No, it already seems like it's probably going to work better. All right. Oh, wow. I'm full throttle and can't get it to freaking... Okay. Like, I feel like I'm here forever trying to get...
Yeah, I think you're too used to a MiG where you're just running her along. TIG's not supposed to be fast.
This seems way too slow. And I feel like I'm pumping heat into this thing, trying to get it to puddle. Like, just go already.
Gives you all the time in the world. Look.
It really does. But I feel like I've gotten this piece super freaking hot.
Well, then it should be puddling great.
Yeah. Not particularly, actually.
No, I agree with Ryan. Maybe just add 20 more amps.
All right, well, let me get out of it and we'll see, because this looks like dog shit to me. Oh, yeah. Nope. I don't even want to... Oh, there's way more heat. Yep. Nope. We're not even... You don't even get to see that.
We can see it. Don't worry.
Oh, damn it. All right, we're going to go up to 55. How about that? Put 10 in it. That was doo, baby. And now it's all hot, so it's just a little bit of crap. That's a little bit better, at least.
Oh, my hair.
Nope. Well, it looks better. But I'm going to let it cool down now. The 10 more amps definitely made a huge difference. But I'd already heated it up so much, it's kind of scorched at the moment. Is that all we got? Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't think it pushed through the backside as bad as it did last time, so you definitely wanted something there. I'll let that one cool down. I'll play with another spot there at a lower amp then. Did you finish your short?
Oh yeah, we're done. It's scheduled.
Set it to like 90-10. That's what I read. Wait, 90 to 110. Is that what he's saying?
Yep.
All right. Well, because I'm way below that, but I thought at 55 it actually did a decent job.
Cut the difference. Go to 70.
We'll do 75. How about that? How about that? I don't want to keep beating on this piece, but I am not in love with this headphone setup. Really didn't think this through. All right, I'm just going to hammer on this this shitty boomerang for a little bit. Well,
Pole barn's been on for almost 2 hours. 600 people watching.
600? Wow.
Yep, so they're killing it.
Oh yeah. Oh, too hard. What about this? Okay. I don't know, man. Questionable at best. All right, let's see if I can do something here.
Send it.
It's just a full send, man. That's what you can do. Yeah, might have dipped it a little there. Come on, we got a little more power. More power, baby. I don't feel like it's just not wanting to puddle down right now.
Camera stopped focusing.
Did it?
Yep.
Has it had enough of the... I just feel like I'm burning back into this stuff now. I don't know. I feel like that looked like it's gonna look like Dookie. Yeah, that looks like shit. It's not going. I'm not getting great penetration into the bottom piece, and I'm getting too much into the top piece. You'll have that.
You'll have that. These things happen.
So is the camera not doing anything now? Or?
Oh no, it's perfect now. It just, for that whatever reason, it just lost focus when you lit it up that time.
Oh, okay.
Might be the angle of its dangle.
All right. I will say the penetration's way better on the backside this time. So that's good, right?
I mean, you only want a little penetration, but you do need some penetration.
Yeah, but you don't want it bold. You don't want it bold.
Yeah, you don't want it
back everywhere. You know.
Exactly. You just want to see a nice
penetration.
So
no, I mean, lowering the amperage down definitely made a big difference.
Bring your camera up just a little bit, just a smidgen.
Nice. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, right there.
And focus. Hey. So yeah, on the you can see it burned through a little much. What? Right there. Oh wow, that's hot. And right there, that's warm. I know you wouldn't think it. So, dudes with wrenches, how is the over 100,000 subscriber life treating you?
Are we over 100,000 subscribers now?
You are.
Oh, yeah, it's a thing, I guess.
Aren't you closing it on like 110 or some shit now?
I don't know.
Stand by. I don't know. It was a while ago. Last time I saw. Did you just hit 109 like a couple weeks ago, right?
I am currently at 109.
You're currently at 109. Yeah, that's what. Yes. Something like that.
Currently at 109. The accurate number is 109. That's kind of crazy.
Set it to 240. So 210 is as high as this one goes, Jesse. She gives up. She gives up the goose after 210. I really do like this welder.
Watch the world melt.
I've so the first thing we ever did was aluminum, and it's it's a completely different setup for that. And I've always MIG'd, and part of me goes, I should probably just MIG all this stuff I want to put on this frame over there. But the other part of me goes, TIG weld it, because you have a TIG welder.
Well, I've seen you weld MIG, and I'm going to say the MIG welds will never come apart because there'll be so much weld in there that it'll be strong.
Yeah, it's strong.
So I mean,
oh yeah, Jesse, that shit went nuclear. Old dudes with shorts over here.
It happens. You know, I'm a grower, not a shower. Misinformation loves to force decisions without giving all the options. Would you recognize it if you saw it? Can you spot manipulation?
Yeah, see, that's kind of where I'm at too, Jesse. But I'm not in a hurry. Like, I don't even have the stuff to start doing the project here. I've ordered it. That's kind of why I'm spending every night just in the garage here, messing around, playing, tigging. I also want to see what size that material is really going to be, and then start doing some TIG stuff. Because once I find out what size it is, I have some cut up pieces of the old frame that was broken. That's the right thickness that I can practice on and see, like, is this even an option? But hey, man, every day I TIG weld something that gets better, except for that one right there. That looks like dog shit.
Yeah, I mean,
here, I'm gonna go over the top of that and make it look like not crap, and then we'll talk about it.
I'll put some on top. That'll make it better.
Oh no, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna push it around.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even adding to it. It's got plenty there.
But I'm just saying, dog poop pushed around still looks like dog poop.
Oh no, I can make the dog poop look way better.
Have a good night, Ryan.
Ryan, have a good one, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thicker is way easier, yeah. That's the trick. This stuff is just really thin, and it was, like I said, 100% because I had it laying around. Oh, pedal in the wrong spot.
Oh my.
What are we all mying?
Oh my.
Are you mying me?
I'm just admiring.
What are you admiring?
It's actually giving us a decent view this time.
Good. I feel like I should be talking. Oh, I undercut the crap out of that. Sorry.
So this is your new way of tigging? You just you take it out and then you just work out the bead?
Well, it's more, no. I'm better at running the puddle without
the rod
feeding at this point. So this just gives me some more puddle control training, essentially, when I run it the second time, but I know it's not right. And I'm sure someone could tell me why I can't do that, because I'm sure I'm making the weld shitty when I go over it again or whatever. But at this point, it's just more time playing with the torch. I mean, that still looks like dog crap. It's better looking dog crap, like you said, but I mean, where I'm undercutting.
As long as it's strong.
I mean, that's probably not going to fall apart. Check out comments at the Pole Barn Live. Hell yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah. Listen. What did I say I was doing earlier? Making a cake. I'm icing. I'm spreading the icing around right now. It's just is what it is. All right. Well, now that I got the heat a little more dialed in, let's see if we can't weld something to weld something. Oh yeah, that looks good.
Good.
You think it's going to be a decent shot for you, angle-wise?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Perfect?
Perfection.
All right, let me get my shite together. Perfection. It couldn't be better.
I'm pretty sure it couldn't.
Not tonight in this dungeon. All right. Let's see here. You all right? You gonna fall asleep on me over there, huh, bud?
I'm tired.
Yeah?
I'll be fine. We're here.
I have that sticking out too far. Screw it. Let's... How do I want to get this in there? That's the question. Already too long. I should be moving. I am full throttle right now. Still feel like that took too long. It's not pretty, but it's not terrible. Give me a minute, let it cool down. I'll show it to you. Well, you got a good look at it right there.
Yeah, it's a good view.
Corey. Yeah, listen. that is. I wouldn't really pay anyone for that job, but I would probably put that on one of my side-by-side pieces and be like, yeah, you know what? That's fine.
Strong.
I don't think it's... Oh, okay. Let's do it. We need to stack it that way.
Take it and bend it.
See if it'll break?
Yeah, bend it towards the weld. See if it bends on each side of the weld.
Like this? She's strong. And hot.
Well,
that's the other thing. Let's see the... Okay, so look at this one. We didn't burn through really anywhere.
Yeah, that's what you want to see right there.
And it doesn't look like the heat is too bad. It looks actually got better towards the end where I was starting to speed up, I think. Or no. Yeah. So I was better in the beginning and it took too long. I mean, I don't hate it. The heat patch doesn't look too... Oh, shit. Which way? It doesn't look too big, does it? It is a little big still. So he says it's not as good looking now. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I've never had any training at all. I mean, everyone's little help and hints is great, and I really appreciate it. I try to do some of it. But at the end of the day, it's just a thing I need to get in here and do more. So that looks about right, he said, for the heat. All right. Well, like I said, I know that if I'm slow and if I do the pulse thing, I can do good. I can do welds that are better. But I feel like I need to learn without the pulse and then type of deal. I don't know. Like a 2-second pulse. Doing is learning. Failing is learning. Lots of failing. See, now, the thing is, I can go behind that. I can make it pretty. But do you need to? No, not really. What are you doing, man? You look like you're, do it with pulse. Yeah, I run a pulse pass.
Yeah.
What do you say, 2 seconds? 75, we'll do pulse 2-second pulse per second, or it's pulse per seconds. So 2 pulses per second is what I'm going to set it at. And then, yeah, I could just flip it over. Shit, I can't just flip it over because I will get it like a mouse tool. Ah, sheet. All right. Well, that's, well, I got some area there I didn't do. See, the aluminum, I've actually got a stack of Red Bulls over here I wanted to play when I get to playing with aluminum here. I want to try and play with at some point, but we are so not there.
Are Red Bulls aluminum cans?
If they're not, we're going to find out. I thought they were.
I don't think anything's a pure aluminum can outside of a few things.
Either way, I know it can be tigged together with some sort of rod. Okay. And then put that there. Can you hear me? There.
Yeah. Okay. You're good.
Well, I don't know about good, but my welding helmet's head up is a little scuffed. All right. So, where do you run a bead?
The transport of aluminum cans saves 40% of space compared to glass bottles. At Red Bull, we constantly reduce emissions by optimizing transport and product cycles. Compact and lightweight aluminum can is a key factor in reducing CO2 during the transport, packaging, and storage phase. I guess they're aluminum? 100% recyclable, as Red Bull cans are made of aluminum. The aluminum can is one of the very, very good packaging, completely recyclable.
It is not hot enough for this.
Because your heat's going in and out, you got to add more heat.
Yep,
for sure.
Yep, I gotta have more amps if you're gonna do that. Yeah, I'm not doing shit.
No.
just pumping heat into that friggin' one piece. I didn't do crap.
You spot welded it. Good job.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a heck of a spot weld.
Baby.
Heck of a spot weld.
We'll put it up where I think it was Justin was saying earlier. We'll put it at 100. See, now when I was playing with the pulse before, I had it cranked way up and was playing with thicker material at that point. So let's see what this does. Yeah, a little ticker.
Clicker. Why am I so tired? Oh, dang. Oops.
Okay, I feel like that looks like a dog. Well, okay. Once I figured it out and turned the heat back up, or heat up.
It's about the same as the previous one.
Yeah.
What's the penetration look like? You weren't on the scene very well.
Penetration is definitely more. I don't know where the heck.
Turn the heat up.
So yeah, I did turn the heat up, so that has a lot to do with that too.
Yep.
So maybe crank the heat just a little too much. But other than that, the heat transfer wasn't terrible once I figured it out. But I don't know, man. That's a hard one. You're turning signals. Oh yeah, for sure. A little clicker, bud. Oh. Yeah, this is the other we were talking about thicknesses and stuff like that. The only thing this Miller came with, as far as like instructions or a guide or anything, is this piece of laminated deal that tells you how to set a few things, what a few things mean, and then some basic AC and tungsten.
Definitely stuff. One of those. You better know what you're doing before you spend this kind of money and own one of these.
I mean, the one with the pulse almost looks better. I think I know that from before when I did it, I felt like I got a better result with the pulse. But this time, that was still warm. This time, I think you're right. Once I got my shit together right there, once I get out of the light.
I think you need to do a long run with the pulse.
I think you're 100% correct, but
I got a perfect spot right back.
Hey, we're gonna make this boomerang even better. Hey. Oh. Trying to find my angled pieces to be the perfect angle to each other. Well, we'll tack and hammer it, right? Let's see. Ow, that's warm. I don't know why it would be so warm. It's ridiculous. Like, how did that happen? Click, click, click. Alright. What'd you bring me? Oh, he hasn't had his headphones on yet. Turn the heat down. You melted doo-doos into... Yeah. Alright, let's see here.
And I'm back.
Go ahead and get a little tap.
Let's talk about welding. I don't think there's anybody watching you anymore, but send it.
I don't know if there is or not. Okay, I can tell you I don't like the pulse for tacking.
Yeah.
Well, that was less than ideal.
I think I'm testing a new flavor of Doritos.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Ta-da.
Oh, yep, we're here. You there?
I'm here.
Alright, let's see if this pulse does anything for us. How's the shot? Anywhere near where it should be?
I have tried those, Fox. They're pretty good. I had to find a place that would actually sell me a small bag of these because I wasn't sure I wanted a big bag. You know, because chips cost like $6 a bag now, so I didn't want to get a bag I wasn't going to eat. Pretty good, though. Barbecue Doritos. Delicious.
Oh, fucked her, bud. Fucked her good.
I went into a gas station in the middle of nowhere the other day, and one full-size can of Pringles was $5.
What?
Yeah, I was like, nope, not paying that. I'm walking right out of here. Went across the street to a Dollar General in the middle of nowhere, and I got 3 cans of Pringles for $5. I didn't even want 3, but I just had to prove a point that you should not only get 1 can for $5. Just saying.
I concur with that. All right, so there's a lot of mixed bag going on there.
Well, your metal's warping up to the point of ridiculous. You should probably clamp it down.
We both know that's not happening. It's getting warm right here in this particular area of the shop.
You're literally trying to force that metal down with heat.
Well, beat it to submission with heat, yeah. It's not stick welding. Yeah, I definitely stuck it there and then just went through. I am anti-clamping.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm an anti-clamper. Well, I don't feel like... I did get pretty warm. I was dicking around too much in some spots.
There you go. Attack both sides. That'll hold it. Won't try to bow up.
Yeah, it was already bowed to begin with. Actually, it got worse as we went, but yeah. I don't hate it. Better than yesterday's. Well, I mean, here we go. We'll have to poll everyone, but we've got.
Yeah, show us yesterday's scrapperang.
Yeah. Well, the scrapperang had some good points and some not so good points. There's a lot of things done on the scrapperang, but this was yesterday's. This is what I ended the night on yesterday. Was those blowouts? That's warm. I know you wouldn't think it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you do? Next Friday, I was thinking more, Tuesday, but yeah, sure.
Tuesday next month.
I didn't say what Tuesday. It'll be a Tuesday. Oh, man. So, I have gone back to multiple shorts a day, and it has actually come right back around with. It's kind of like I didn't stop doing multiple shorts a day when we did that experiment a month ago? 2 months? Was it November? When did you and the wife talk me into doing one a day?
Don't know. I'm just saying now. Feels like a better idea.
Well, my limit seems to be, 1,500 to, let's say, 3,000 views on a short, or roughly.
I do not have sustainable content to be putting out more than one a day. And YouTube itself suggests that you don't get burned out as a creator and not do it every day.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. That was a hard one. It depends what you're doing, you know what I mean? If for how you make a video, hell yeah.
If you have the content and you can put it out, I say put it out.
Getting the big head. You know it, Corey. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's weird. I've had more comments this week than I normally have on videos, so that's cool. Of course, it's more shitty comments than I normally have, so
it means they're farming you in America.
Actually, you can see that on my analytics. They took a big turn for the old United States of America. Which, okay, that's a good one for you. You know a bit about the shorts thing. I noticed in the deal it was talking about the pool of shorts money for creators in your country. Is that for where you are making them or where they are being shown?
Where you are making them.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if they show it wherever the hell it is.
Yeah, they can farm it to wherever. It all comes down to where it's being made from is where it's going to get pulled together for the profits.
10 a day, Jesse, becomes. I was doing 5 a day, and I did 5 days for months. And between the car show footage, which was a large chunk of that in the early days, what I was doing, and then all the other stuff I was doing, it was able to be done, but it takes a while to come up with. It's so weird too, because you're like, oh, you put time in these, and then nothing happens, and you put some crappy ones up, and they hit hard. And it's just like I don't know what I'm doing, so I just keep doing things. If that makes sense.
So, Fox, that is a solid plan. I do a short every day. I should be doing a long format every week. I don't do that. And here we are.
I feel like if you're putting out something every single day, whether it be a short, a long form, some sort of community post, or in like your case, you got short, or not. What are those other things you got now?
There you go. BS Small Engines has entered the chat.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I will say this. I am far better at community posts in the past month than I have been anything else.
I wish I could get community posts to do what your community posts do. I wish you could turn your community posts into doing more for you than it does for you.
I know.
Like, that's just wild to me.
I don't know how in a month. I mean, it's literally, what's 130 divided by 28? I mean,
it's a pretty decent number.
Daily. That's 4.6. So 4.5 subs per day, every day, just from community posts that aren't every day.
Yeah, because I think you showed me the chart on that where they hit, and here it's very sporadic on when they go crazy.
Well, that's just whenever I drop a post.
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy you can pull 130 subs in a month off community posts. Because
I mean, that's
how are they showing them to people that aren't subscribed?
Well, I mean, that's the thing we did find out about that. If inside spoiler alert, if you're not doing community posts, you should be, because apparently they'll show that to people that aren't subscribed to you. That's the only thing I can get from that. But I do them here and there, and I don't get the traction that yours does. So I don't know what the hell that means. You know what I mean? Why are they showing your shorts to people? Why are you so special?
Yeah, I don't know why they show my community posts to people.
Or not shorts. I mean, that's what I meant. Community posts.
Let's go look at the most recent community post. Let's go see what it's doing right now. It's at 33,000 votes.
Well, I wonder if it's a freaking because your shit gets so much interaction because it's comment farms essentially in those posts.
Oh yeah, it's 550 comments on this post.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
And comments on the comments. I mean, shit, this one's got 75 comments on a comment.
Sharing the community post. So can you see that? How often a community post or something like that is shared? Is that something?
Maybe. Let me look in here.
Because I have never tried to look at that, because I've never had community posts that have done anything worth like digging into the numbers and seeing. Like I need 6 to 12, 13 maybe on a community post, but
go to content, I go to posts.
Like you do with the different things you can freaking pick on. One of those polls.
So how would I look?
They freaking change the rules every 5 minutes. They don't want anyone to figure that out. Oh, I found another piece of good metal. Dang it.
Oh, some of these posts actually overlap each other.
Oh, hey, there's a backside right here. Well on later.
Post vote rate. 25% of people that view the post vote on it. Does that make any sense? Weird. Oh, here's a fun number.
That'll weld.
So how many impressions do you think I get on posts in 28 days?
Oh, I'm sure it's a stupid number, obviously, if you're getting subscribers. I'm sure you have more impressions from community posts than I have across my entire channel in a 28-day period. You wanna make that bet? What do you got?
589,000 impressions.
589,000 impressions across 28 days, the last 28 days.
Yeah.
All right. My total for everything from the last 28 days is 182,000. For my entire channel. That's everything.
Oh boy. If I go 90 days, it's 2.5 million.
Jesse's at 50K, I think is what he's saying.
What?
1,800. Are you talking subscribers, Brandon? You got to get into the shorts game if you're trying to.
Oh, I got you.
You can weld across the plate. Oh, you
mean
like?
What is this?
Like this swag buff? Yeah. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep welding on this monstrosity, and then we'll send it to somebody. Let's do a giveaway.
Shorts feeds ads, $9.
You can see that now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a metric I wasn't able to see before. Where do you see that? Revenue source?
I'm in revenue source.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, nice. What?
Yeah, it's on 7 days. $10 in 7 days. I mean, I'll be at like $50.
Well. I guess what doesn't make sense. Here we go. Oh, okay. We got new numbers, and today's numbers came in too. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Playlists.
So, yeah. It was $1.10 yesterday on the shorts feed. So that listen, over here, little old me at $1 a day for shorts for the bull I do, I'll take that all day long.
I'll take it. It's all good.
Well, I'm not doing the numbers that you're doing.
Polls, text, video, playlists.
I'm not gonna lie. If these shorts continue up like this, it's a lot more lucrative than I thought it was going to be, and makes me go, damn.
I think it's going to be just as lucrative as the bonus was.
I wasn't getting the bonus, so I have no idea about that. I just know I wish I would have had this when I had my run, when I had 2 videos go over 1 million views. Or shoot, I don't know what I'm bitching about. Look at you. Well, you were getting something though, so you know what? Nope. I refuse to think that you got screwed the same way I did.
I mean, I never said I was getting screwed. So
I know you didn't. This is all. Yeah, no, this was the conversation I just had with myself. You were here, but not there. Yeah, it's fine. I dig this camera, and now want to try and set it up at the place across the street. I hate you.
See how much better of a camera it is?
Get wrecked. I don't want to hear it.
So much better of a camera. It makes you feel bad because you're like, I bought this $500 camera to use as a webcam, but it's totally worth it.
See, that's where I am at. I shoot the majority of my stuff in the shop over here with this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man, Jesse, that's perfect. That's what I'm saying. Well, so realistically, in the last 2 days, I've eaten through 2 rods of this, and I think a tank is like $60, and I'm not even halfway through this tank, and and I've done a project and some other things with it. And yeah, at the end of the day, I don't mind if I can get better. I mean, listen, the stuff I was doing before this, well, I ground down, and I couldn't even show you anymore because it was really bad. So I'm not getting worse at tigging. Gears Wiz, what's up? Gross since I'm starting. Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you guys, shorts, and I mean, you're coming to the right place if you want to talk shorts. If you're trying to, I mean, realistically, grow the brand with shorts, dudes?
I know nothing.
Well, that's not true to an extent. I mean, you've done a good job of crafting a brand and selling that brand via shorts.
Yes.
And I guess
here's the caveat to everything. With everything you do, and I'm saying this to anybody that wants to listen, there's a positive and a negative to shorts. Positive being you will see channel growth, period. Negative, it is not going to bleed over into long format viewing. It is not going to get people to watch your channel for longer periods of time. It is a different group of people.
To an extent,
you different group of people
you have not
in
seen
shorts.
in those departments. You just haven't seen the growth like you have in shorts. And
but
yes, the majority that's true.
Yes, it's a falsified idea. Like if you think it's going to make the other do something, don't put any stake in that.
CP came in and was saying that shit back when he had like 5,000 subscribers and we all had nothing, and he was just like, you don't want 10,000 subscribers who don't watch your shit. That's not good for the brand. CP said that back then, and you now live that. How do you? I mean, do you think that holds up from what he says?
100%. I have 100,000 subscribers, and there is a lot of very good subscribers that will show up every time and watch a video, but it's 1,500. And I'll compare myself to DD Speed Shop. Here's a guy that has 100,000 subscribers. He's at the same point I am, but he has 30,000 people that show up for every video.
Everything,
yeah,
which is awesome. And that's a good great community, and that's a thing you definitely need to.
So even when you're building your brand, you have to think hard about how to build your community. And maybe that's something I'm just not doing well.
So, Fox, it's exactly what it is. You can literally make sure it's wearing shorts. I mean, it might work. So I find the ones that I'm like, yeah, this is a good short and this should do well, is maybe 40%. They actually do what I think they're going to do for me over here on mine. I don't know if your number is better or worse.
Mine's a 60-40.
So 60% of the time they hit how you think they're going to hit.
Yeah.
For me, all of my big ones that have done any significant, headway as far as, views and hours and all that things are all ones that I did not think were going to be anything. It were just ones I just kind of threw up, or I just shot some whatever. Or like, that was one I was talking with Eric last night about, that one that hit 300.
Yeah.
300,000
remember
45
that
minutes. 45 minutes.
Yes. That's I don't even know how.
It was 6 seconds.
Even you was like, we messed up.
Everyone, well, I remember I was going into an appointment and I was like, and I sent you the screenshot. I was like, what the fuck just happened? And you're like, this is not real.
Yeah. That's that never should happen, only in a blue moon. Yeah. Just burn it all down.
And see, that's what you need, is just solid group of people that show up and come watch the videos. You get that, and you'll be all right. You get the hours will do its thing. Everything will kind of fall into place. But at the end of the day, too, it's an ad. I mean, YouTube's got to be an ad. You want to advertise yourself out there, and if YouTube's not doing it for you, the Shorts system so far has, for some reason, been a much easier place to see. This is the other thing about talking about this. The more you talk to people about shorts and essentially talk them into the Ponzi scheme, the more I think it hurts the people that are already invested in the Ponzi scheme. But I can tell you what I have seen is ever since shorts has come on the scene, I have seen a direct correlation in the drop off in views across my channel towards my long form.
Oh.
Like, as more views and more shorts content went into the market of YouTube across YouTube, not my.
Okay. You're saying overall. All right.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you drew a hard line. There was a hard line there where people that weren't.
When shorts came in, overall view percentage for everything on the platform as a whole went down because that was carving into everyone's essential.
Well, I think you might have drugged some people over from TikTok, but I think you converted a lot of people that may have been long format viewers to a shorts format viewer.
Yes.
And it's a different
now they're
viewer.
wasting their time. Well, it's not that it's a different viewer. Yes, it is the TikTok people coming over, but you've got people that essentially want to watch whatever they're going to watch, long form, short form. But if you're watching short form, that means you're not watching long form at that particular moment.
Correct. And YouTube has done a very piss poor job of joining those two together. I mean, you can see it in your own phone app. When you start watching shorts, it sticks you in shorts. Like it's not going to show you a long format and get you back over until you purposely get back over. I've had many comments from people that watch mine, but they're like, how do I see your long format? And I had to explain to them how to use their YouTube app. And then they're just blown away. They're like, oh my God, why did it get like that? And it's like, I don't know. You got to be a little more.
Let's get. Oh yeah, so dude's stuff is very. You've crafted a and that's like where you're more 60-40 than I am 40-60. I think the other way, because you're doing things that have some thought behind them and have some like, this should work because of this, and there's some validation behind that, whereas mine is literally, hey, this is what we're doing, what's gonna take off. You know, but I think like the video of the dog riding on the dozer with me would be something that would have taken off better, but no, it was my dad pushing a pile of dirt down a hill. You know what I mean? Who knew?
Well, and I think that's Jesse says it right there. So YouTube's going to push more content of consistent viewership. So if you are stuck on your phone for 10 minutes watching a long format, even when it's 30 minutes long, and then you go off and do something because you're bored, then they lost you. If they catch your eye with a short and you sit there and watch shorts for 45 minutes, the shorts kept you longer than long format. So YouTube's going to push the shorts. And that's all to each viewer. Well, I don't think that's.
And I guess what I was saying when I started is YouTube didn't, when they introduced shorts, gain more people to the site. The numbers didn't go all of a sudden through the roof, and we went from like 10 million views an hour to 60 million views an hour. They stayed about the same, but now they have all this different form of content. So if it stayed the same, the views had to come from somewhere. And I think it happened to everyone, and I'm not saying that like, my channel was directly affected, but I think everyone was.
Here's the problem. I think there was a huge long format boom during the COVID because there was just more time for people to watch. And now that the COVID has passed, the short form content comes back into the forefront because there's just less time to view.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just natural.
So you want to keep your videos over 8 minutes, especially any monetization going forward. That's where you get your mid-roll monetization, which isn't much, but it makes a big difference.
It doubles your earning potential.
Exactly, if not triples. But I have noticed, like, you got to watch that. YouTube, I've got a bunch of videos. They've not been recommending any breaks because they use audio software to recommend the breaks. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The videos I'm putting up right now that I'm having issues are videos where I've got music playing because the audio is scuffed, and I've got music played all the way through, and I blended the music to where there's no dead spots anywhere. And it's like, nowhere, this 13, 14, 15-minute video doesn't need any ads because there's nowhere good for an ad. And I'm like, the only reason you would think that is because the music never stops.
Or it's acknowledging there's music and it doesn't want to deal with a copyright engagement.
But it's music. It's all music off of.
Well, that's even worse. Then it's just like, nah.
Yeah, so that's why I had to manually put those in at that point. But I don't know. Some of my riding videos, there are some that get up around 20-some minutes, and I'm like, I go back and forth between, are we telling a story with the ride, or are you just along for the ride? You know what I mean? Which way am I?
I think you have two different audiences there.
I'm getting a battery light now on the camera. It's like, get wrecked.
Yeah, it's been on for 2 hours.
Oh, it has been on that whole time. All right, well, guess what? Well, I guess you're going to have to look at my big dumb face for a little while.
Switching angles. Engage.
Switching angles. Here, run the chat for me while
I've been running the chat.
Oh, I was putting them up on the screen recently. Oh, wow.
Oh, you've been putting them up on the screen. I haven't been doing that.
Oh, I'll stop then. Sorry.
Sorry, everybody. I'm being a big disappointment to all 5 people here. Apologize. Just not what I used to be at this.
He's out of practice. We got to get him up to speed so he can start doing some lives on your channel.
Now that I watched old Pole Barn Garage get 500 people watching for 2 hours just doing Craigslist ads, which, mind you, that's a great idea. I could totally sit there and read Craigslist ads and tell you why you shouldn't buy junk, or why I want to buy junk.
Well, so you tell them why you want to buy the junk, and then you tell them some bullshit off the top of your head about the junk.
Yeah, why it would be awesome to own that junk.
Or why it wouldn't be.
You know how hard it's been? I've just been not looking at Facebook since the beginning of the year. I've been trying not to buy anything.
I've been in since the last 2 years, I've been pretty much buying moratorium for most things for hoarding.
Well, I will say this: I did attempt to finance $40,000 worth of car.
Oh, because you needed that? Yeah,
I did need that.
You.
They wouldn't give it to me. So if y'all didn't know, I'm gonna let you know.
Morphing.
I was gonna sell everything I had to own a '62 Buick Special.
Okay, I'm gonna update that. He said he was gonna sell some things, but he was just gonna scrape a bunch of shit together and then not actually sell anything to buy that Buick.
I was willing to throw 40 grand at a car.
Yeah, you were, which I thought was crazy.
Which wasn't crazy because I won the bid at 15.5, and then they're like, "Nope, reserve not met. Get bent."
I still think you should start a used cars business and just start selling things on YouTube.
YouTube sales.
YouTube sales only. Like you have to negotiate on some sort of live or
Jesse. Jesse, it was that cool.
Okay, I will say this Buick was pretty cool. I don't know if it was 40 grand cool. I'm not gonna lie. I might be.
Hey, it sold in 2006 for $180,000.
And we both know that was about. And we both know that was about $140 too much. Or 140,000.
You couldn't build the car. I mean, it was.
You shouldn't build the car.
Powder coated Art Morrison chassis, full QA1 suspension, Ford 9, 6-speed TKO manual transmission, built 455, Pro Charger, full custom interior, full custom paint. I mean,
I gotta get some water with all this here.
Amazingness.
Sure, there's nothing crazy on the tool bench you shouldn't be looking at.
I mean, I would have bought it and complained about all the build quality 100%, but I would have owned it.
That would have been half. That would have been half the.
That would have been half the fun. Just been like, well, this thing is shit.
Oh, it's shipping up. Oh, this guy didn't know. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
It's a 20-year-old build. They didn't know this shit back then.
Oh God, actually, that kind of would be a little bit cool. Bit of a. Yeah. Well, tell them about the car. It was stashed somewhere for the last however many.
So the car was built in 2003. If you want to look the car up, it was Buicked was the name of the car, and it was actually chosen to be in Gran Turismo 4 as one of the premier cars you could drive in the game. And it went to Riddler shows, it was in magazines, and then it was sold on Barrett Jackson in 2006. So it only been around the scene for about 3 years when it got sold. And then it has sat in a collection since 2006. So it's essentially a 20-year-old build at this point that should be new, but who knows what condition everything's in after 20 years of sitting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So I would have been an amazing car. I would have ran the wheels off of it. Here, let me see. Let me see if I can find a thing.
Yeah, but at 15, there was no way they were going to let it go.
Oh no, not with what they paid, and I know they paid. No way. Okay, we got this picture right here. So what do I do here? Share screen? Stop screen? How do I remember? I don't remember how to do any of this.
You go to present, I think, down there, and then it'll let you
go. Share screen. This one. Share. All right, it's this car right here, everybody.
It kind of looks like what was that Aaron Kaufman build?
Oh, Falcon. It's very similar, size-wise and everything.
Well, the fender louver hole things. Well, I guess what
you can see. Here's a video of it right there. That's a beautiful video of it. I mean, Pro chart. This
is basically a YouTube project before YouTube.
What do you mean?
Like they just built it for.
They built it to go on shows. Yeah, it was a roadster shop that was like, I'm gonna build this amazing Buick because no one's ever built one.
Oh, okay. It was a shop car.
Yes.
That sold for way more than it should have, and inflated its value.
Well, it was super popular when it was built, so it gained a value because of how popular it was.
Yeah, I'm with Jesse. It actually does. It looks nice, but I just don't see how. I mean, Buick is not known for this.
Oh, they are known for this. That's the problem. Nobody ever gave them the credit they deserved for all the performance vehicles that they built. There she is. Look at her. Oh yeah, that's nice. Look at that. 455 Pro Charger.
Okay.
Look at the interior. Oh, so beautiful.
No, dude, go back to the cage. Look how tight.
Oh, full cage, man.
No. But go to the back picture one. Oh no, go back another. Whatever you were at before this one.
This one right here. That's your cage.
Yeah, I know, but there's one more picture that shows the roof. If you go back a page or whatever it was, that one, yeah. Look at how tight the A pillar is, and then the yeah, they did a really good job with this interior.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that thing.
It's all right, I guess.
Just look. I would have. Oh,
I still don't know about 40 grand. That car. How big is that back tire?
Oh, it's big. She's as big as you could go.
Yeah, she's 300 pluser back there, bud. Looks like.
Look at it. She lays on the ground.
Right. So it was, Aaron Kaufman more and more. Okay.
Look at that thing.
Yeah.
And here it is in the actual video game. I mean, you got yourself an iconic car. I've always wanted to build one. They look beautiful.
I can't believe that's something like you're like, I always wanted to build that.
Yeah. That's my number one car. If somebody said, what's the one car you could own
it's just weird with all the cars and all the shit you've talked about and doing and whatnot, for this to be the one out of all of that is kind of.
They're unobtainium. You can't get them. You can't restore them. The parts aren't available. I mean, just.
All you got to do is dump hundreds of thousands of dollars into one.
There you go. There's the one you need right there.
I'm good. I don't need any of that.
Oh, you don't want none of that? Look at that. It's just the car has beautiful lines. I mean,
which Subaru, Jesse? Because I feel like some of those like rally car Subarus, I'd take that over that. Like the sequential gearbox, STIs or some shit like that from like early 2000s. That'd be sick.
All right.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The old boats of those eras, Oh, then mine. Oh, yeah. Any working vehicle of any type is better than that Subaru at this point. There's so many things that I've done so long ago now that I'm just like, oof.
Yeah, things you have to completely redo.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that.
A lot of that. About that.
Yeah.
There's like a whole turbo section that needs to move.
No, not the whole turbo. I know. So I need to make the decision. The turbo kit can stay how it is, and we can do a electric water pump setup, which fixes a lot of problems actually.
Yeah, usually.
I still have radiator issues to make it a classic, I guess. I mean, realistically, how old does it have to be what's the definition?
25 years is classic, so you actually own a classic right now, probably, maybe.
No. That hasn't
been 25. What year is the 350Z?
It's 03. It's 20 years this year.
It's getting close.
It's getting there. So not quite, but I have already built a classic. I need to wait for it to become a classic.
5 more years. She's a classic.
5 more years. So the answer is 5 more years.
People are gonna throw up in their mouth. Look at my classic car. What?
I'm gonna call Haggerty and be like, I would like some classic.
I have a classic JDM.
This car. Oh god, that is gonna be great.
Actually, he is building a classic truck. He just put a newer truck body on it. So.
Oh yeah, I guess you could say that is a
square body Chevy frame.
Yeah, which I don't know. That's the more I look into those frames, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah, they need 100% boxed. Like, I don't know how anybody was thinking those are not strong frames.
And it hasn't been bought.
Oh no, hasn't been boxed as a ramp truck. Like, there was no boxing.
Do you consider
was it a cab chassis truck? It had to have been originally.
There's a lot of things I don't know because it wasn't my project for the longest time. So we just scumbagged some stuff onto this thing. We're doing things. We'll do it live. We'll figure it out as it becomes a problem. And the project stalled, and the guy wanted rid of it, and then I ended up with it, and I put a very little bit more effort into it, and it sat. So yeah, I don't know if that frame is. I know the ramp itself is its own frame that is very strong that they then sat on top and then took a plate steel and welded them together shittily, because everywhere the welds were, they corroded, and that strap is now broken loose on most. Oh, the camera died because I switched over and didn't actually turn the camera off.
That extra battery, we don't need that extra battery.
Well, I just gave up on that camera. I was like, whatever.
There's only 5 people here. Who wants to hear?
I like 5 people.
Who wants to hear the final ending to Justice for Carl?
Oh, are you? Did anyone even hear the beginning of Justice for Carl in this room?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's up to speed with Justice for Carl. Did you get final or
final? I talked to the city attorney person, and they're just like, "Yeah, we don't ever need to talk to you about this again."
Are you gonna get anything out of that?
Oh no. They literally said, "We'll keep your name on file, but there's a lot of people ahead of you."
Jesus. All right, so give a recap quick from the beginning.
The date. Oh.
Do it. You should lead in. Get quiet. The date.
The date. It's right in there.
That might be too deep, but I could be wrong.
It was right before winter season. I drove my 67 Galaxy to work for the final time. There was almost a "don't do this" in the air. The car wasn't idling right. I took it anyway. I said, "Nope, I'm going to drive this thing before it gets put away for the winter." So I took my 67 Galaxy and I drove it to work. It died on no less than 3 occasions on the way there. Another sign that I probably shouldn't have taken it to work, but we did it anyway. I worked the entire day. When I walked out, my coworker pointed out that the car was definitely sitting on a flat tire at this point. And he said, "Man, how old are those tires?" And I said, "They're brand new. I don't know why one of them's flat. It's very weird." So as we got closer to the car, I could realize from a pretty good distance that tire had been slashed aggressively. So
prejudice.
With prejudice. So that's the beginning of Justice for Carl. Carl being the 67 Galaxy. So as one does when they find their tire has been slashed, they travel home via ride from a friend, and they pull a tire off of their additional 67 Galaxy, because you don't keep spares for any of your cars. You just keep a spare car. So
I feel like that is a spare, though. That is a spare.
Technically, I mean,
it's actually a step further than just a spare tire. It's a whole spare car.
Whole spare car. That was his original intent of purchase.
I feel like you try to say like you're doing it wrong, but you're actually doing it even a step further than right.
Yeah, it's exceptionally right.
Well, something like
we
that.
Won't go there. Yeah. So we traveled back to said 67 Galaxy in the middle of a casino parking lot to change a tire in haste. And as we were changing said tire, a police officer drove by. So I stood up and I attempted to flag him down as he rolled his eyes and drove away hastily. And I went, "Huh, that's cool. I guess they don't want to know that my tire had been slashed."
Oh yeah, no, we don't stop for people that approach us.
We'll get to that.
Oh, so, you're gonna get through there because I thought you were gonna yada through some of this.
We'll make him. We're gonna full story here. So, as one does, you change your tire. Now, mind you, the secondary Galaxy has a completely different tire size and a different rim design. And that information will come later. It's very obvious the tire has now been changed. I put the slashed tire in the trunk and I decided I'm just gonna go home. It's been a long day and This is the last time this car is going to see the road till next year, so it is what it is. But then I thought to myself, I need to be a good Samaritan. I need to make better choices. And I need to probably call the police and let them know there is a tire slasher amongst the people. So I did just that. I called the non-emergency number. I let them know that vandals had vandalized my car. No big deal. It's been taken care of. They said, okay, we don't need to send out a trooper or a police officer of any kind. We just need to send you to records and they'll take your report. So they sent me to records. Now, mind you, I did say I was in a casino parking lot. So casino parking lots have cameras. Things happen there. I knew that, but I had no interest in going in the casino. I'm not a casino patron. But anyway, as one does when they call the non-emergency number and then get sent to the non-emergency records line, you explain to them that, yes, my tires just got slashed. I'm in the casino parking lot, which then they said, well, there's obviously proof. And the proof is on camera, and you need to go get it. And we're going to send a squad car down to take the full report. And I said, but I don't want to go to the casino. I have no interest in talking to them. Oh, you're going to need to go get it or we can't make a report. So go get the evidence and then call us back. So I proceeded to go into the casino, which, mind you, now I am getting evidence to a crime that was committed to me for the police officers, or they will not show up, when previously there was no information required if it would have happened anywhere else. So I stand in line as one would do in a line of casino patrons, because your ID must be checked. And as you notice, I look like me. And this look is the look of the homeless. And the homeless frequent said casino for free drinks and little pay. So as I stand 6 people back, looking forward at the heavier weight Hispanic lady checking IDs, she then signals me, you can go.
I don't need to see your ID, bud.
Look around, shake my head.
Have ID.
Yeah, shake my head, signaling no, it's not why I'm here. So as I get a couple people closer, she then starts yelling over the top of other people that are obviously underage. You can go. I don't need to check your ID. Which then I proceeded to yell over the same people. And I said, that's not what I'm here for. I can wait. So as I got up to her finally, she said, well, what do you need? I said, well, there's been an incident in the parking lot. The police officers have told me to come talk to you. Which then she shrugs and grunts and speaks into her little side mic and just, tells me to go stand over there. So as I wait, the head of security shows up. Now, the head of security of this casino is all of 19 years old and looks like he should be in the back of a McDonald's flipping burgers as one would at his age.
At a night school?
Yeah.
This job type of thing.
Maybe the old security guy wasn't too high on the game. But anyway, he then proceeds to tell me, well, if anything's happened in the parking lot, we're not liable for that. And I said, that's fine. You have cameras, and the police officers told me I needed to come and get evidence of the crime. He said, I can't release that to you. I can only release that to the cops. You need to call them back and tell them to come down here to make a report, or we cannot even look at the footage.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to saying, let's go outside and show me what's going on. So we walked down to Carl, realizing there is 2 plainly to see cameras that sitting right above the car. So this should be pretty straightforward. We go up, we have a discussion about the fact that, people suck and tires get slashed. And I did call the police officers in that walk. And I said, I'm going to need a police officer, yada, yada. They told me to call you and let you know you needed to come down. Okay. So we stand there and talk a little bit, and he proceeds to walk up to the front of the car to the obviously replaced wheel and tire that does not match the rest of the vehicle and explain, well, it doesn't even look that bad. How do you know it's slashed? That's not the tire. This one's in the trunk. Oh, yeah, that's definitely slashed. Yep.
Weird.
I
don't know. I don't know if you ever sent me that. You probably did. How big was the slash? It was not.
Oh, it was
insignificant.
Knife.
Yeah.
Like, it was full knife.
Yeah, it's a wound.
At that point, we stood there for a little while. Speaking of the YouTubes and the things, and how famous I was as a content creator, and he was just shocked by the fact that I even had subscribers. And
shock and awe.
He was a TikTok content creator himself, as all of us are.
I deleted actually everything of TikTok, and I've completely gotten out of the game. So I'm not a TikTok creator. It's all deleted.
Well, you'll have that. And then, as the police
out.
officer rolled in from across the parking lot, mind you, the same exact police officer that we previously tried to flag down. He proceeded out of his police vehicle saying, "Were you the people trying to flag me down earlier?" Yep. I'm real sorry about that. Our new protocol is not to approach people flagging us down unless there's been a call in the area, for their safety. Because, emergencies aren't a thing. So.
Yeah, I shouldn't have, but somebody talked me into it.
There you go.
And you definitely shouldn't.
Definitely. So at that point, the police officer then started to take his report, which involved a small notebook, noting down things that made sense only to him, like my phone number and name. And then he proceeded to walk up to the vehicle, take off his body cam, wave it at the front tire, and go, "I'm not really sure what the damages are. This tire isn't even flat." I went,
"Yep,
not that one. You just said you watched us change it."
What did he
just
say
saying.
about that? What did he say? What did he say?
Well, this was internal monologue.
Oh, damn it. Come on.
He was very, "Oh, well, where's the other tire?" Pop the trunk. He waved his little body cam over it. "Yeah, that looks slashed." Okay, cool. He takes my information. He talks to the guy a little bit. And I proceed to expect the fact that once this report has been filed, I would receive a number of some kind, a call back. So I waited. I didn't leave. I started my car. He sat there and jotted on his computer. I walked back up. I said, "Do I need to get a number or a card from you?" And he said, "No, I have your number. I'll let you know." Which then I pretty much conceived as he didn't do any report and does not care. Yep, so at this point, I have wasted an extensive amount of my time for something that's never going to be resolved. So at this juncture, I went home. And after about a week, I felt a little jaded about the fact that I wasted my time. And I decided, you know what? I can't call the cops because they never called me back. And I don't have an actual case number or report number. So they're not going to know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to call the casino and I'm going to see if they have any actual footage of someone slashing my tire and if it's been reported to the police. Which after about
Carl, Blake, this is what we're talking about. Justice for Carl.
Yes, sir. So after about a half hour on the phone with only the best help at the old casino.
Now, mind you, he felt this way about 5 minutes after it happened. It boiled for a few days that we talked back and forth on it until he finally spent the time to boil even more while he talked to these people and then get to talk to them. And okay, I think they've got a feel.
Yeah. So they explained to me that they cannot provide me with said tape, but there is definitely footage of someone slashing my tire, which they can very well see the person in it. And the police officers have not requested said footage at this point. And I went, cool. So another week rolls by. I make the same call. I wait a half hour. I get the same person. They explain to me that no, cops still haven't come to pick that up. So on week 3, when I finally call them and say, "Hey, what about now?" And they said, "Hey, cops finally did come get that footage." Great. Now, this is week 3 from the incident. About 4 days later, I got a report on my camera on the front of my house that there was somebody at my door. After reviewing said footage, it was a sheriff. Now, I don't know why that sheriff was there. I had to call him. He left his card. He said, I need to meet you at the sheriff's office, your nearest convenience. I need to serve you with paperwork. I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe I'm getting sued. Maybe something's happening. I have
that happens at Dudes with Wrenches every now and again.
Yeah. It's like, what did I do? I feel like this is a trap. I'm being invited to the sheriff's office. So I go down to the sheriff's office.
Famous, yeah. Cease and desist for your TikToks.
So as I went down to the sheriff's office and I met with the deputy, I said, what's this about? And he said, I have no idea. Here's the paperwork, which didn't explain anything. It just said, call this number. Here's the case number. District court. Oh, cool. So I call the number and I get the hold of the district court and they said, what are you calling about? So well, here's the number. I was told to call you. I was served this paper. Are you Donald? I'm not Donald. Are you a witness?
Not Donald.
Witness to what? Witness to vandalizing vehicles. I said, oh, yeah, but I'm not a witness because I didn't see anything. I was just the owner of a vehicle. Now, I do not know at this point that there was multiple vehicles in this incident. I didn't figure that out till later. But then they proceeded to tell me that you're the witness. It says right here on the paperwork. And if you don't show up to court, which we have now subpoenaed you to do, there will be a warrant for your arrest. But if you would like to drop the charges against Donald, we can just cancel this court date and away we all go. I said, well, that seems a little unlikely because I'd like to know what Donald looks like and what was going through his mind.
At this point, you've made a whole thing about justice for Carl.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck this. No, at this point, it's wasted this much time. We're seeing this to the end. Because you're like, this dude's not getting away with just my $75 tire.
Yeah, with my $75 tire. So they set the court date. I was ready to go. I took off work. I scheduled the time. And a day before the date, I got a call. Said, you don't have to show up. We're canceling it. We're pushing it back. I said, okay, why? Well, during Donald's arrest, he had a little bit of a scuffle with the police officers.
Is this exactly filed? Are you paraphrasing, or is this exactly what they said?
This is what they said.
Okay, all right, just wondered.
They have now
Shopcat, what's up, brother?
Filed a complaint of police abuse against Donald, and that will have to be met in the federal court building. So different trial, different date. He's got to go to that one first. Cool. So then I followed that up with, so can I just get a call instead of this whole sheriff showing up at my house to serve me with paperwork thing? Because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
It doesn't work like that.
Nope, that's how we do it. But if you want to drop the charges, we can just make this all go away. And I didn't know.
The fact that they asked you that multiple times, I think is some bullshit too. Like they just like always pushed that because in every interaction that you had with them, that came up.
Yeah, a lot. Like I was the key witness, and when I witnessed nothing, and I was the hinge of a case. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of the story.
When I was off for around Christmas, a police officer showed up to my door, served me with more paperwork. He said, I don't know what this is about. I said, I do. And I proceeded to ask him, like, how is it to like hang out all day and just serve paperwork to people as a deputy sheriff? He's like, it's not great. And I'm like, cool.
It's the best.
He goes, yeah, nobody's happy about me showing up. I'm like, I figure not. So,
yeah,
we shook hands.
Yeah.
And went on our way. Yeah, usually it's eviction notices, he said. So
yeah.
A lot of those in a day. Like, I'm gonna need you to get out of this house.
Yeah, I'm gonna get your shit and like get out like right now.
Yeah. So we waited about 2 more weeks. We finally got to go to court. Now, mind you, I had to take off more work, show up. The court time said 2:00. So as a self-respecting person, I showed up at 1:30 because I figured, half an hour to maybe figure some stuff out before we go to court at 2. No. They tell you to show up at 2 because the court is at 2:30 because they want you to show up early.
They already know that you'll fuck it away if you don't.
Yeah.
So they figure that in. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. They figured in your own lack of ability to show up on time. So I'm there an hour early at this point. Now,
way too early.
The court place is the sheriff's office. You walk past all the sheriff's offices to go back down this long hallway where all the courtrooms are on the left. And on the right, there's just pews. They're actually old church pews. It's an old building. And then there's just little booths.
This has been reused once or twice, huh?
Yeah. There's a little booth that you walk up to, and there's this board of names. Now, I don't want to mean this as a racist comment, but in my town...
See, I feel like when you have to preface anything with with all due respect, it's going to be disrespectful. I think at that point you might as well just say, you know what? You might as well either just not say this or just not bring attention to it. Because either way, you're fucked.
Donald Smith is the man's name.
Yep.
Good luck finding him. I couldn't find nothing because Donald Smith's a pretty generic name. Donald Smith was the last hearing of the day. All of the other hearings in front of that were some form of Hernandez, Jose, or Jesus. So we have a lot of Hispanic crime in our area, evidently.
On that particular day?
Yeah, on that particular day. And then a couple, whatever other people names. So on this little board, you sign in. They tell you, go sit over there, wait for the public defender or his defender, whatever. And you're sitting in pews across from what can only be described as A, a possible witness, or B, a possible defendant. You don't know. It's a game of pick and choose. One of these guys could be Donald for all you know. I mean, at that point, you could just be straight up like, are you Donald? Let's have a talk. You don't know. You don't know. There's probably 4 people sitting in there. And what I learned real quick, being there for a full hour before my actual time I needed to be there, is nothing actually ever goes to court because they hash it all out before it ever makes it into the courtroom. There was a gentleman sitting across from us that had definitely been cited for potentially beating his spouse. And there was a court order that he couldn't be near her except for in that courtroom. He was very ready to fight his case. So I don't know the facts of the situation, but he had a lawyer there and he was ready to go to court. Now, they didn't go to court. She called to say she couldn't make it. They then told her, if you want to drop the charges and he pays for the fact we already have this scheduled, so there's court fees, we'll make this all go away. So they looked out at him. He said, hey, if you want to pick court charges, she'll drop the charges. Lawyers talked it out over the phone. He said, yeah, what's it going to cost me? $150. All right, sounds good. All right, she officially dropped the charges. You can be on your way.
Yeah, now that doesn't show up, and who knows what happens to the next one or whatnot.
Yeah, so who knows what the story is there. And then the next fun one was a nice gentleman that was explaining to his court-appointed attorney that he should be able to get his license back because he's done everything that he needed to do to get his license returned to him, which then the court-appointed attorney explained to him, but you got a DWI last week. And he said, yeah, but I haven't gone to court for that one yet, and I've done all the things.
You should be able to get it back in between before I get taken away again, is what he...
Yeah, because I already have that one, and I've done all the things to get my license back from that one, which then she had to explain to him, that's not how this works. Once you have the first offense, you don't really get a free ride for the second one.
In between.
Yeah, so he left less than angry, like infuriated. But he went on his way.
Less than angry? Yeah.
Yeah. And she just went back into her little booth and he walked off. So then we were kind of left alone there. And then we got to see what I'm only going to explain as a crazy homeless. And now, mind you, this is a long hallway. It's an open area in the back. We're behind the booth. A very crazy, agitated white male walked in the door and stormed down the hall, screaming the name of a lawyer, we can only assume, to the lady at the check-in box saying, your lawyer isn't here. You need to go to the other building, Bill. So she knows him by name.
You know, you can't come in here, Bill. Come on.
Yeah. Which then he proceeds to take the very ratty backpack off of his back and throw it at the front glass of the booth. Now, mind you, this is the sheriff's station. So as he's yelling and rambling his way to the back, there is a lot of large, well-armed men coming out of offices pretty much in every corner of the building at this point.
Do we get to shoot him today?
Yeah, like Bill's gonna have a bad day.
I'm finally get to shoot Bill today. Damn it.
Yeah. So at this point, a female police officer comes out of the back of the booth and stands in front of me and proceeds to say, "Don't worry, I'm not being creepy right now. I'm here to protect you." Those were her exact words.
To you?
To me.
Oh, that's cool.
And I wanted to look at her and go, that 105-pound bag-wielding person over there, I'll go beat him up right now if you need me to. I mean, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, until you find out he's, got needles laced
stabby.
with God knows. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All up in
his... That was quickly disarmed by the fact that I think he understood and read the room after yelling a little bit at the lady in the booth.
Well, I feel like you said in this one, this isn't the first time he's been there. He knows about how far he can push it before he's like, "Yep, this isn't where I parked my car. Fuck you guys, I'm out."
Yeah, I'm going to go to the building.
Yeah, and now I'm going to go to the other. And he left, and they're just like, "Fucking Bill, one of these times I'm going to get to shoot him."
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So once Bill leaves, the police officer that I got to take the report with showed up. And I'm like, sweet, this guy. This all makes sense now, right? Because why am I here? I was a witness to nothing. He walks by me. Now, where they're talking with each other, the court attorney and the officer, is literally across the hallway from us. And it is not what you call thick walls. So they walk in the room. They close the door. You can hear every word they're saying. And the police officer goes, why is he here? And she goes, what do you mean? He's the witness to the crime. Which then the police officer goes, no, he's not. That's not the guy who's the witness. I'm like, oh, sweet. So at this point, I am the witness that's not the witness. They screwed up on that.
Well, I know what it is. When you told this back time, I know what it did. He was writing it down in his little fucking book, and he had all the witnesses, and he put the wrong information in the report somewhere. I guarantee that's how this happened.
And that's exactly what happened.
And no one checked to say dude A or dude B ever.
Yeah, they just said that's the information we have. Subpoena that guy.
Yeah.
So
there was a whole bunch of people like, I don't know. I'm just doing my job, man. It just says you got to go there. I don't even know who you are,
Yep. I have now been subpoenaed to go in front of a judge as the only witness to getting Donald essentially prosecuted for crimes that there is no witness to because I am not that witness.
Well, and on top of this, they need this crime to kind of back up the whole
everything.
Police brutality.
They have so many things against him. So at that point, they have already put over 17 vandalizations against him. And
so that's when you figured this out? So you figured out the other parts of that at this meeting, or you knew about the other vandalizations?
Meeting. I had no idea. So she walks out and she goes, did you witness anything? And I said, nope. And she walks back in the room, talks to the cop again. She walks back out. We're like, well, we don't think he's actually showing up because he should have been here by now. But we had to hold you here until the case is over because you were subpoenaed. It's legal. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Whatever. So that's when the cop walks back out and he explains, well, what do you want to know? Like, he's ready to tell me everything. So he explains me why old Donald got arrested and what he had done. The true witness had actually watched Donald slash a tire in the middle of the street, followed Donald down the street, and then called the cops. Cops showed up as Donald was taking his walk. And they kind of went in a little situation of, they said, hey, Donald, we have a witness. And Donald tried to run, and then there was a scuffle. And Donald fought back. That's what the cops said. I don't know the facts of that.
Well, have you actually seen Donald now?
I have not. There's no ability to see Donald.
And we don't know if Donald's 90,
Oh, so we do know that.
50.
So I asked him.
Okay, yeah.
I said, so who is Donald? What is he? Oh, Donald is a 70-year-old white man, retired, lived a good life, had a good job, owns multiple homes in the city. Not bad off, not a vagrant, not anybody that's ever had any problems with the law. What Bill has decided to do at 70 years old is Bill walks from the north side of town on a little jaunt.
Donald or Bill?
Oh, Donald, sorry. I'm getting my Bills and Donalds. They're both crazies to me. So crazy white people. So Donald walks from his north side home downtown to the local Walgreens and gets himself a soda every night. And on his way back from said soda purchase, he just slashes tires.
Pretty
Doesn't
much,
matter.
fuck.
Just wherever you are, just stab, tire gone.
Yep, fuck this guy in that car, stabbing it.
Yeah, just stabbing it. No rhyme or reason. No valid
Well, I'm sure
point.
it was for whatever it was, fuck that dude for having this car.
Well, I think it was more like, Dad told me I could never have a 67 Galaxy. I'll show you, Dad.
Something along those lines. Yeah,
So
in
much mental
his
anguish
brain,
somewhere.
in whatever it was, there was a reason for that car at that moment. It was,
I don't know, man. So they linked him to 17 separate tire slashings.
Jesus. I don't get the rush out of that, I guess.
So the only reason they went back and got the footage from the Hard Rock is to validate the fact that you now had an eyewitness seeing him slash a tire. And then you have video of the same guy slashing a tire. So that's just like double verification there. But without the eyewitness, the whole thing still falls apart. So at this point, if Donald actually does show up in the next 15 minutes, the case is going to be lost.
Oh, no, it won't be lost. At that point, they'll just get a continuous because the first continuous was gave because Donald's shit. And so now at this point, the defense or the this would be the state or whoever at this point would say, we actually need some more time to get our shit together. So, and Donald's actually really not ready anyhow, because let's face it, it's public attorney. They're going to take more time. Then Donald didn't even show up. So
Donald didn't show up. I had to wait for the very end, and they had to call his name over a loudspeaker. And this is the last trial of the day. So there's nobody really left in the building but me. And then I'm finally allowed to release with a sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
And
we validate parking.
We validate parking. If you would like to go across the street to the other building, which mind you is now closed because it's 3 o'clock, you can get your parking validated. And because you only live 4 miles from the actual building, your parking amount will be $2.50. I didn't waste my time with that.
Nope. Let me get that $2.50. What are you talking about? I listen, I'm out here begging you two for that $2.50 every day.
Yeah. So the ending to all of this is I talked to the lady. She said, well, how much is the tire worth? I said, well, how much is the tire worth to buy it? Or how much did it cost me to have it replaced? Like if I would have called somebody and had them change it, that would have been about $300, I'm betting. She said, no, just the value of the tire. And we had to prorate it because it wasn't new. I said, well, it kind of was new. I mean, it's only a couple years old.
What do you mean prorating?
Yeah. It wasn't new because you can just vandalize stuff and they treat it like an old roof.
Fuck out of here. Yeah, I destroyed this thing and you have to buy a new one, but I'm only responsible for what was left of it.
Yeah,
like what that next time
current condition was.
Yeah, like okay, so if I burn down okay.
Yeah. So you gotta watch out for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So she wrote it down as $50 essentially for my tire, which is I couldn't replace that tire for $50.
Fuck no.
No, it was like $150 just to get a new one and have it mounted.
Oh shit.
So
for the bigger, oh come on.
For Bill.
I appreciate it, but that
$250 for Bill.
So yeah.
She explained to me that I'm done here. They won't need to talk to me again, and really apologize for the 2 subpoenas and the waste of time on 2 different occasions to come be the witness of nothing you actually witnessed, and to realize that the whole justice system is jacked. Nobody does their job, and old 70-year-old white men are the biggest problem in our city. Not the homeless, not the vagrants, not all the other criminals.
I feel
just
like all
random tire slashing generalization.
Pointed to one experience.
Well, I'm just saying,
right there
I don't have problems with my tires
system.
getting slashed.
I don't have a problem with my tires getting slashed either.
Have a problem with the justice system because I don't usually have to be part of it. But in my experience of this one valid situation, at the end of the day, change your tire and drive home because it's not worth your time.
Yeah.
Holy
shit, Blake. Get out of here.
Justice for Carl.
This isn't helping justice for Carl. I got it here. Jeez. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. We're just out here doing some live time and learning about Justice for Carl. So I don't think you can call it Justice for Carl because it was more like injustice for Carl. Really, in the end.
Well,
you know what I mean.
Truly, in the end, there was no justice.
Because you've parking for Well, you get to park there for free because of that. The way it works out, though, right?
The way it works out is the original parking lot that the casino owns was owned by our company. They cannot sell said parking lot because it is contaminated. So all it can ever be is a parking lot, and it cannot be sold due to liabilities. So because the parking lot cannot be sold, it is leased by the casino. So the agreement is we lease your casino. We lease the parking lot that sits behind our casino that you own for no money, and you get to park for free with all your employees in the casino parking lot. That's the deal. Because ground contamination.
Well, and that becomes its own, contamination. It's justice for Blake.
Justice for Blake. Funny thing about mercury is once you pour it just directly into the ground, it contaminates things pretty heavily.
So how are they pouring? How did the mercury get directly into the ground?
So about that, the river used to be about a quarter mile wider each side. So the old parking lot was actually an established riverfront piece that had a steam plant for the entire city on it. So it would pull water out of the river, steam it, and then heat all the buildings downtown. So the power company owned that. So now they own the land underneath it. It's just been handed down across the different associations. But when they destroyed said steam plant, they literally dug a hole and pushed
buried
it.
Yeah.
And funny thing about steam plants from 1940, they had lots of mercury gauges in them.
So what year? When was this done? At what point?
Oh, it was done in like the early 50s.
Okay, so in the 50s, before anyone gave a shit about that. That won't be a problem anytime soon.
Yeah. So then when they did soil samples, when they were going to dig down and put pylons in for a parking ramp, they went, yeah, that's contaminated. And you can't sell that. And if you want to sell that, you need to dig down 25 feet, the entire size of this parking lot, refill it with uncontaminated dirt, process the contaminated dirt into a safe space, and then you can sell it.
Well, at that point, it's not just dirt. There's other pieces down that far.
And the problem is
in there.
The river is narrower, but I'm pretty sure if you dig down that far, you're going to find river.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, because it's just going to. Well, so that's the other thing. That's just leaching into the freaking river. It has been for. But I mean, I guess mercury is a naturally occurring substance.
It's one of the things that Americans take a lot of. Oh my God, it's mercury. When everybody else is like, oh my God, it's mercury.
Doesn't it come from? I mean, granted, it's definitely refined, obviously, in that.
Yes.
So you got a much bigger. Holy bunch of things. Did it just blow up for you and the chat just move a bunch, or is that just me over here?
That's slow? You, bud.
Well, that's why you're in charge of chat.
Okay.
You're the chat chancellor.
Chat chancellor. Hello, chat chancellor.
Hello.
Justice for Carl, chat chancellor.
It's injustice for Carl. You can't call it justice for Carl. There's no justice for Carl.
My mouse. Boop. Okay,
the river.
Boop. There we go.
Okay.
The other funny thing about mercury is the Chinese once considered it magical, encased it in chocolate, and fed it to their emperor because awesome. It's actually where the term Mad Hatter disease actually comes from. They used mercury to actually firm the bills of hats. So a Mad Hatter was the hat maker because he would actually dip his fingers in mercury and rub them on the bills of hats every day until he died of crazy mad poisoning. I work now. There's a special building that just pulls in water from the aquifer, cleans it, and sends it back out. Lots of well monitoring and no build green spaces. Yeah. We have that too where I work. They actually put water. They take water from the river, and the water they put out is actually cleaner than what comes in. And then people still act like we're polluting. It's funny because, like, I don't think you understand. We have like actual lab that tests all the water that goes in and out of this place.
Yeah, but I guess does that have to go to an independent? I mean, who are we trusting here? Is this like when we trusted Volkswagen that the emissions were good?
So
I mean,
on
just
that
saying
note,
here,
it's not an outside lab; it is our own personal lab.
Yeah.
But they do have to take the samples, catalog them, and submit them to the government.
There was a lady working for a steel company on the West Coast that just went to jail for almost espionage or something like that for faking the steel reports on steel they sold to like the Navy for ships.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And she did it for like 20 plus years or
Maybe
something
she was just
crazy
really bad
like
at her job.
It was one of those where, we're not going to get paid if we don't get the good metal, or if we don't do it, if it doesn't meet the standards. And she's like, make the standards for $2,500 in my pocket. You know what I mean? Type of, I think is how she was doing it. I don't know. It was something Blake, she was supposed to be.
Your river is definitely worse than my river, but they're not far from each other.
All your rivers are wrong out there. That was the one thing coming from the West Coast coming east, is the rivers are not the same.
Well, the Mississippi and the Missouri, they are definitely a polluted body of water by the time you get down to the middle of the country.
Even some of the Colorado is like, ugh, in some spots.
Not true, Blake. I don't live there, and I don't think about it at all.
What?
You can't trust the government. Well, I mean, you can.
To an extent.
But
it depends. Are you trusting the government?
Depends on what you're trusting them with.
Or are you trusting the politicians who are doing whatever the thing is at the time?
I mean,
is there a distinction? Yeah.
They sold the Navy bum steel. They've had a lot of early bull fatigue and cracking.
There you go.
Don't trust me, shop. Hull, not bull. Yeah, we knew what you're talking about.
Bulls?
Bum steel. Hull steel? Boxes drinking.
It was something to do with it was supposed to be a certain rating or something. I don't exactly.
Our river grew an accidental beach last summer because of construction. Became a bit of a hot spot. I don't think I'd hang out on a river beach. That's probably some pretty contaminated sand.
See, that's the trick. Like out here, if you get a sandbar, like that's just good, clean sand to go.
That's not around here. That's like, don't touch that sand. It burns your skin.
Yeah. No, like we go up on the creek and it's just, well, that's the other crazy thing. Like I go up on the creek now and see spots that I'm just like, I know back in the like 50s and even earlier, they were doing things up there that there was no accountability for what they were doing out in the woods. There was no satellite. There was no anyone doing flyovers. Like, these guys were, clear cutting and digging up rivers and gold mining through the 40s, 30s, and 50s out here. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, you got to protect the wilderness for everything. And they're like, oh, you can't do any of these things. And I'm just like,
because we've already done them all.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, these trees, they're gonna, I'm like, none of these trees are first gen. None of this is old growth. It's all been cut.
These are genocide trees. Don't worry about it.
Best case, they're 80, 90 years old. Best case for any of the trees you see around here.
It's like talking to jailed prisoners that have been there for 2 generations, and the children are just jailed children. I've never seen the real world. Like, well, you can't hurt those ones. Those ones have already seen things. It's
and it's so funny out here too, because you go back and forth between the people that are like, oh, they're just ruining the state by not letting us chop it up and turn it into something and make it better. And then you got the other side, just like, you trying to ruin it by chopping up, and I'm just like, I want you to take the gates down and let me ride my side by side.
Kind of sounds like the same people. The first time that PETA and duck hunters got together on the same side, you want to know what they did?
I don't know what they do.
They fought wind turbines on the coast of Florida because the wind turbines were killing the birds. So PETA was like, they're killing the birds. And the hunters are like, they're killing the birds, so we can't kill the birds.
We can't kill the birds.
And it was the first time a hunting association and PETA got together on the same side and was like, we got to stop the windmills.
That's
like, what?
Awesome. That's not, you don't think that's who's going to show up for that, the lawyer team or whatever on the other side.
And here's my whole point of this. Them birds are too stupid to fly around a turbine blade. Them birds need to die. Like, I'm sorry.
I mean,
now the ones that I do feel bad for is we look at a lot of statistics on solar farms. Solar farms kill the crap out of birds. It is so bad.
Surprise. Yeah, because I would figure that most. What's the kill rate on a turbine? Those things aren't spinning that fast.
No, it's like if you can't fly around it, you're a dumb bird. Like
I feel like you could fly through it as it spins and probably
totally
be okay.
could. You
like
totally could.
Most like a goose or something like that. You know what I mean?
Those are just dumb birds. Those are birds just like floating on an airstream, like, oh, blade.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's a spot down there. Look at that. Oh, wow, that came out of nowhere. Yeah. You know. Or is it just the birds cutting it really close? You know, like, oh, how close can I get to the blade?
Yeah, they're all playing chicken. You know? Like, I could do it better than you, Bill. Watch this.
Fuck you, Bill. Hold my beer.
Told him you couldn't do it.
I told him every time. Well, next time. This one's for Bill.
The funny part is the solar farms, birds think they're a body of water because of the reflection.
So they try to smash down on them.
They try to land on them. And it doesn't work out for them,
I would assume that's not great for the old solar array either. Yeah.
And then there's the whole problem of like it's an intense amount of heat. So there's actually rising heat off solar panels in Nevada. So it actually puts a lot of heat in the air. So you get birds that float on the heat wave and they can't get out of it. And it cooks them.
The glimmer too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because they get all stupid and dehydrated.
Yeah. They just fucking fall out of the sky.
So there's
air fried, literally desert air fried chicken bird. Oh God. This is a morbid picture
like
you've
the
got.
Story of the sloth. We just need to put all those down. That and pandas. When you got to force an animal to mate, like maybe we just need to let that one go. And then even when you do get them to mate, and they have baby pandas, and they eat the baby pandas, and it's like, it was so hard to make you have one of those, and then you go and eat it, you stupid bear.
Well, I will say the pandas do seem to be pretty clumsy and seem to fuck themselves up a lot.
They're a bear that doesn't even eat meat. And they're lazy as shit.
I just always see the reel of them like climbing and just eating shit constantly, like falling on their back. And I'm just like, I see why these things don't live long. This thing's going to break its hip. And you know what I mean?
Then you got like marsupials. So you got like koalas. The koala actually has like the smallest brain per body weight. They're stupid animals.
Don't know much about koalas, but they seem like they just kind of eat and chill.
They do that. And there's actually like a shit ton of different kinds of eucalyptus leaves. And that's all they eat. Yeah. And they will actually search for only certain kinds. And they will starve themselves while looking. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to eat that one.
The other ones, because I'll die before I eat that bullshit.
And they will.
You know what? I can get behind that. That's the kind of determination I can get behind.
Oh, I need new conspiracies. Mine all came true. We do need new conspiracies. Random ass conspiracies.
You know what? I want to get back into the monster conspiracies. Like, what the fuck? I'm really disappointed with the whole chupacabra. I was really hoping that was going to gain a little more traction and like be at least more than some other bullshit.
How do you feel about the Bigfoot?
Dude, the Bigfoot. Me and my wife were talking about this in one of the videos. I don't know if it was one of the videos. On one of the rides, we talked about this. I don't know if it was one of the ones where we had the headset we could actually make it out or not. But I find it very unlikely that in this day and age there's been no real evidence of the Bigfoot, i.e., we have dinosaur bones from, how long ago? But we can't find one, monkey boy in the Pacific Northwest.
They've actually proven now that a lot of the dinosaur bones we found, we put together wrong.
That wouldn't surprise me. Look at this guy.
Look at that guy. Am I doing it? There he is.
I was just making sure he wasn't going to turn into a chick and all of a sudden, get us demonetized over here.
He's just trying to do the Iowa Drake live.
Oh, is that what this is?
I guess. Drinking live.
How you doing?
That's what I tried, man. That's what I tried.
Like you're struggling over there.
Oh, dude. Talk about a struggle. The old lady's honey-do list.
Oof.
Paint the walls. Do crown molding. Do mop molding. Put new floors in.
See, that's why I don't let my wife.
Is that why you're hanging out in the basement?
Yeah. I didn't know this place existed until all these home projects. And I'm like, my basement's got 11-foot tall fucking ceilings in it.
I wish.
What?
Yeah, dude. So I got my green room back there, and I got my recliner right here. I got the TV. Well, that's watching Joe Rogan, not you guys, right?
That's the man cave, man.
I didn't know this fucker existed.
Yeah.
6 years ago when we moved in here, we just dumped all of our shit in the basement. It was known for, like, if you go down there, you get fleas on your ankles. So you just run down here and get the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
7 years ago, well, now 7 years later, I threw like 4 flea bombs down here.
Oh, you came in like a G.I. Joe throwing bombs and reclaiming the fucking basement. There was a war for tossing them in there. We're taking it back. Stormed the basement.
It's mine, motherfucker.
Oh man.
And now I got a Christmas tree and a furnace
I guess
and
that's
a
one way
lazy
to
boy
keep
down here. And that's like, where's it been
like that
for the past 6 years?
If you stay in it and you actually stay in these areas, they don't go to the animals. Because I had a place with a basement and we didn't go down there much. It was the same thing. And then I built a bar in the basement and we were down there all the time. And there was never any animals but us down there after that.
Yeah, I got a emulator fucking arcade machine and a bar table that I forgot about. I'm like, we need to bring that down here. And he's like, you know how that arcade gave you such a headache? And I'm like, it's everybody else's now. Because I'm not going to be playing that motherfucker.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
The emulators for the different Nintendo games and stuff back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't... I don't know. I have a hard time going back to the old nostalgic games because I play them and I'm just like, I'll play them and get just as frustrated in the not knowing the sequence for the different games as I remember being when I was a kid. And I'm just like, yep, this is why I don't play Mario Brothers.
I just want to do like a LAN party with Halo 1.
Ugh.
I did like Halo. Was the Halo 1 was the only one I really got into, but I didn't do
Blood Gulch, Capture a Flag.
If I'm going to,
we were ranked #1 in the world for like
I'm gonna pick
a month and a half.
Nintendo 64 GoldenEye. If you're gonna talk about,
they just re-released that.
What, GoldenEye?
Yeah, you can play it on Xbox now.
Really? Yep. Again, the problem is you can't go back to a game like that.
And that's what everybody said. Everybody started playing. They're like, "This game is awful." Like, yeah,
it's garbage. It's not as good as everyone remembers it because everyone remembers it being amazing because it was at its time.
It's because you had 3 other people next to you.
and sticky bombs, and I mean everything that the last 25 years of gaming has been from there. Like, yeah, it's like,
you ever want to ruin your childhood? Remember one of the favorite movies you used to watch. Go find it on a VHS tape and watch it on a regular TV now, and you'll be like, "How did I ever watch this? It looks like trash."
Yeah.
Maximum Overdrive.
Some of these things should
that scared the shit out of me. Maximum Overdrive scared the shit out of me.
I was too logical as a child.
The Watchers was the one. It was something where there was a dog, like a golden retriever, and a government-made monster that would basically kill everything in its path to get to the golden retriever. I don't know why we as kids watched this thing, but that was the movie that we lived in the woods. This whole movie was just this thing in the woods killing people, and I was like, this is terrifying.
Yeah, it sounds fucking gay as fuck.
There was 3 of those.
Oh, there was a whole series. I just remember the first one. It was all bad, like VHS B-roll movie stuff from the beginning.
It had Mark Hamill in it.
Yeah, I'm way closer with dudes up there than you.
Oh yeah, you guys are.
I'd rather have a dude's horror film. Maybe that's because he's from Iowa.
So I enjoyed Critters. I enjoyed Child's Play.
Which one was Critters?
You didn't watch Critters, man?
It sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
They were little monster balls that would roll around, eat people, came from space.
Oh, yeah. I do know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. They just ate everything.
Yes.
Yep.
I was thinking Gremlins for a second, and I was like,
kind of like Gremlins. I mean, very much the same premise, pretty much.
Okay, so this is like every other thing where there's always 2 of every movie presence that goes on at the same time in Hollywood. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You ever find that weird? Like, what was it? Deep Impact, and what was the other? It was Bruce Willis one. It was Deep Impact and Armageddon, were the 2 space.
Yes.
Asteroids, and there's space cowboys in there too. They were all right around the same.
Every time they think one video is going to do well, y'all just kind of try to one up each other with the same garbage.
Yeah, which makes me wonder. Oh, he gone. And then it makes me wonder if it's like, is that because there's a bunch of espionage in the industry of making movies, and they're like, hey, these guys are making one, so we should probably make one too, and see, you know.
Yeah, they said it was a good idea, so it's obviously a good idea.
Yeah, they're spending that kind of money, so Deep Impact. Well, Shopcat, that depends on which version.
So, did you ever watch Throw Your Mama from the Train?
You know, I've heard of it, but no, I've never seen it.
So, Throw Your Mother from the Train was Billy Crystal. No, what was it? What am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
One second. I'm thinking of the wrong movie.
That happened. Oh man. Never saw Armageddon, Shopcat. I thought it was a good movie back then, and then looking back at it now, you look at the cast, and you're like, damn. We swap murders. Chris Cross.
Stop or Your Mama Will Shoot. That's what it was.
Hey, okay. Throw Your Mom from the Train. I would have swore I've heard that. Well, it's like, what was it? Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I just saw something on that movie being, some sort of, it's a certain age or something like that. And I was like, man, I remember watching that when I was a kid.
Yep. Stop or Your Mama Will Shoot. Stallone did that with this little old lady, and essentially it's just like he's a cop and he's taking care of his mom who's trying to like butt in on his cop business.
Oh, okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually going to do that role and hated the script so much that he tricked Stallone into taking the part.
I think I've heard of, and this was a story that you get from somewhere.
Well, Stallone said it was like the most ridiculous thing. It was like the biggest prank that fucking Arnold ever pulled on him. Because he pretty much got the offer, read the script, said this thing's garbage, and then called Stallone, was like, hey, you got to do this. It's a really good film. And Stallone got the thing like, hey, you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, Arnold told me this thing was great. So he went and signed up for it.
That's not even a prank. That's just a fuck you, bud. That's not even.
So then old Stallone does this horrible movie that's supposed to be like a comedy
You're not
action.
missing anything, I think, with Titanic. Avatar, I mean, as far as seeing the limit of what, well, I mean, seeing the limit of CGI, I mean, and what you could do in that medium. Name a movie that does more in the visual side. As far as storytelling, it's a bunch
garbage.
of movies. It's
essentially
it's Fern Gully. It is Fern
no,
Gully
it's not
almost.
Fern Gully.
It is in some spots, but Fern Gully is stolen from
Dances with Wolves is what it is.
It's a bit of Dances with Wolves in a part. Yeah.
That's literally what it is. Like he goes in there as a cowboy, he becomes an Indian.
Okay, but that comes back to like the whole Stockholm or whatever, whatever you want to call that syndrome of am I on the right side? Blah blah blah.
Well, maybe.
I don't know. The part. I mean, it's a bunch of things. But I will give you
things.
The visuals on that movie were crazy. I hear the new one's good from the people that have seen it, but like the first one, I won't go see in the movie theater. I'll wait till it comes out on DVD or I see it wherever.
I never watched the first one all the way through.
Really?
I will not watch the second one. And yeah, it's kind of like that discussion we had about the newest Matrix movie. I'm not going to see that thing. That's trash.
I loved that one because I literally explained it to you in like, what, 10 minutes? I explained that entire movie to you. And you're like, okay, yep. I feel like I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, because I could just literally just hear the things you said and be like, yeah, that totally makes sense. That's definitely what they would do. And that was it. And here we are. No need for another Matrix. Here's another thing that I'd like to point out. So there's a lot of
Ferrari was a good.
I haven't watched that one. I wanted to.
They all do a great job in that flick. It's a really good one.
So I don't know how much Netflix you watch, but they just came out with a new series called Wednesday that I said I wouldn't watch.
The Addams one?
Yes. And there's this new trend of essentially taking an old something that worked that we've redone 15 times, and then we just drag it back into the new and we act like we did something. And that show didn't need to do that. Like, it carried its own weight well enough that it didn't need to bring up the Addams Family name and try to mark up the water. I mean, it's like 50 other children's Buffy the Vampire Slayer videos.
You believe that you could have done it without acknowledging it was actually Wednesday Addams? Is that what
Correct.
you're saying?
You could just change the characters a little bit, made the same show, and it may have not done as well because it wouldn't have grabbed the
I have not seen this yet.
It's okay.
But I believe the premise is she's going to a school her parents went to or met at or something like that.
They met at the school.
I feel like you need that back end in with the you know what I mean? Maybe
you do. There's certain things that get you there, but it all comes down to they could have made a show similar enough with the same story writing, and it would have been okay. And not use the Addams Family.
Have you ever heard of the Adult Wednesday Addams series on YouTube?
No.
Okay. So about 4 years ago, this comedian chick, she was a writer actually on this She-Hulk disaster that just came out. She did a series on YouTube called Adult Wednesday Addams, and it was hilarious. There was no lead-in back to the rest of it was just her.
I think I have seen one of those.
And she got a cease and desist.
Oh, I can believe that.
They said, yeah, no, because it wasn't a parody. She thought she could probably make, but it was going to cost a bunch of money and lawyers to fucking.
Yeah, it wasn't far enough from the source material for them not to be like, you're the same character.
Exactly. So, and it was just like, all right, whatever. And then this Wednesday series is very reminiscent of the step between Ricci's and then the character she was playing, but more leading to this character. Like the character she was playing is like Wednesday in her 20s or something like this, where I think in this show, she's what, 15, 16, 17,
yeah,
something
she's
like that?
A kid.
Yeah, some sort of age in that one. So but it's definitely like if you watched what she did and made for that series and then watch what they've done on this one, what I've seen from the outside looking in, I guess, it looks like that would be the direction they were taking it.
So here's another series that I point out that I recently read about because I refused to watch it. So HBO came back out with a series they call Velma, which is the remake of Scooby-Doo.
I have heard not much about it, but every thumbnail or little snippet I would scroll by and see is somebody all up in arms about how terrible and blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
There's a mixed bag of people that say that it's an ironic symbolism of wokeness or it's too woke. There's complaints from every angle. Like the whole review thing that I watched pretty much said it offends every demographic so much that there is no one that backs the premise of the show. Like,
well, I mean, at what point? Okay, so if it equally goes after everyone and no one is safe, at what point is it just Chappelle's show? And that was cool as shit. So
exactly. So it's always the case of just like, what was the Paradise one with the dumb Jack character and
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder was the same idea. It was so offensive that you could only do it right or it was all going to fall in on you.
No, it was the fact that we can do whatever we want as long as we say it's a parody up front. That was the thing. It was so ridiculous that Downey Jr. was going to do blackface in it. That's what made it be okay. And listen, I could be going on a reach and even saying that that's okay. Because there's a mixed bag on that. Because he's like, I would never do that again.
Yes, but it's one of those things that because it was done well enough, it doesn't get questioned. Where if you look at Velma, it was done so badly that it doesn't carry its own weight. It was just
so what part are you talking about? They were just too all over the place. Yeah.
Yep, because they're too woke. They're not woke. They changed all the characters. They made Velma black Asian and Shaggy black and Fred white idiot, and then Daphne is like super mean girl. And throughout this whole razzmatazz, it's HBO, so it's over sexualized, over gore, over everything. It's an adult cartoon, and then it comes down to Velma now wants to sleep with Fred, and then Velma also gets with Daphne. So then she's trying to figure out if she's lesbian throughout this whole series, and then Shaggy is trying to get with Velma, and she doesn't care about him. And it's just like, this got off the rails quick. And there is no Scooby-Doo, period. There's no dog.
What do you mean there's no fucking dog?
Yeah, so when they got the rights from Warner Brothers says, we'll give you the rights to every character. You can do whatever you want with them, but you don't get a dog. And you can't use Scooby-Doo, and you can't have them. And they still wrote that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, which Scooby-Doo without Scooby-Doo.
I bet right now. What? You know what? I like the challenge. I feel like there is a way to tell a story there, which explains getting Scooby later in the.
And that's what they're projecting, because in that video they're teenagers still, so they're still talking like, "Hey, we haven't made it to Scooby-Doo yet."
Yeah, and I think you could spend an entire series.
This is the forming of the gang.
Like, you could spend an entire show run before Scooby-Doo, essentially in high school, if you depending on how you, I mean, fuck, they ran that '70s show for how many years? Through essentially 3 years of high school, 2 years of high school, and a couple of years of after.
Which that's another one. Do we really need that '90s show?
I saw some of it, and I really do like some of the way they brought the old cast in.
Yes. I've watched 3 episodes and I'm like, all right.
I watched the first 3 episodes and I'm just like, I don't relate with the 90s portion of it, kids at all. And maybe it's because I was a 90s kid. I'm just like, I don't remember.
That's the part where I'm like, this is kind of bullshit. They're over.
Exactly. I feel like
over symbolizing it, I guess.
But then I guess, was that the way the '70s show was? I didn't live in the '70s, so I didn't have a gauge point to gauge it to. So for me, it's what it was telling me is the only thing I really have to go off on that.
Would you have been just as offended at the '70s show if you would have grown up in the '70s?
Exactly. So I don't know.
Now it's for a different demographic because it's for essentially our kids to watch, not us.
Exactly.
So we could be mad at it, and the next demographic is going to be like, "Oh no, this is pretty good."
Well, it's not that I'm mad at it. I have no qualms about it. I just don't. I don't.
I get overemphasizes things I never cared about.
I don't relate to that part of the show so far in the 3 episodes, 4 episodes, whatever it was I watched with the wife. You know what I mean? It's just, but the rest of the show that they tying into everything, I mean, Red and Kitty's characters are just done really well. They always were, and I think that's what
I know is when I remember watching that show and Donna. I remember thinking, oh, Donna, yeah, I like her. And then now she's on there, and I'm just like, either I'm getting old, that lady's had a lot of plastic surgery. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, this does not even remind me of the same person.
I said the same thing to my wife. I was like,
Is that her?
Weird.
Did they recast this?
What has? Because Eric, I don't know if they make Eric look old or if Eric just has gotten kind of old.
He's gotten older because he's done a couple other shows, and you can see him in the other shows. He very well
could be quite a bit older. It's been 20 some years since then. So I know, and I think they did it with Kelso too, or what's his name? Fucking
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, that guy. Dude, where's my fucking car? Right, Fox? Why are you the only one? Listen, I'm down with it. I appreciate you going back and forth here. And I try to get over here and talk. I also quarrel. The cat name. Oh, if they put it in as a cat, is that how they get around it? They call Scooby a cat.
No, because Warner Bros. Said no animals. Period.
No animals. Period.
No animals. Period.
Okay. Well, shit. The way this show sounded like, well, I don't know if I want to be with Scooby Doo.
Well, that's what I thought. So there's all these jokes made about it, and everybody's like, "Oh, Scooby Doo or not?" And it's like, the tagline to Scooby Doo was "Scooby Doo, where are you?" And no one has said that. And I almost think that they can't because Warner Bros. Would be like, "Can't say that. That's copyright."
Yeah. Okay. So at a certain point, its absence is conspicuous.
Yes, because it was the tagline to the dang show. Why is nobody reporting on this saying it?
Yeah. Or is it another one of those things where it's just one of the misquoted deals and it just kind of fell away? No one says it because it's been misquoted and that's not what it says. It just says Scooby Doo or some bullshit.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? It's in there.
Oh, I remember it.
That's one of those shows that you can never forget. Hanna-Barbera cartoons are unforgettable, but the new age of people just don't even acknowledge them as cartoons anymore. So
I don't know, because wasn't He-Man Hanna-Barbera?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. That one was just kind of stub to me.
Well, see, He-Man was one of the very first, just like G.I. Joe, where those shows were made for merchandise, period.
Well, I mean, a lot of these things have been made for merchandise.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Well, that's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the action figures were made before they wrote the show.
Everything Disney? Well, okay, no, not everything Disney, because Disney was taking old properties and making them into new mediums.
Yeah, they were just like, and a lot of times they leave the merchandising with the original person they bought it from as part of the deal.
Well, yeah, because that was the deal. They basically would get the rights for pretty cheap because it was going to be a good deal for them when shit would sell. So it kept the overhead low in the beginning.
Yeah.
Before they could, buy everything. So, like, the Warner Bros. Sold them, want to let them put gas in it? Yeah, basically.
Oh, so He-Man was actually written by the Mattel company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by an action figure company.
I thought He-Man was by who were we just talking about?
The Mattel company released the original He-Man action figure in 1982. The franchise backstory was developed by the filmmaker Animated Studio.
Well, I mean, there was.
Well, that was when it became like the people that made action figures figured out that this is how you sell action figures and made cartoons.
Well, it became its own marketing days. I mean, it's kind of like we talked about with YouTube. You use it to market the deal, and then it becomes its own deal.
Yeah, and anymore, I think cartoons. That's why cartoons have essentially died off and become for adults because adults are the only ones buying the damn action figures.
Well, it's not all action figures anymore. Now, it's
Comic-Cons and
shit could be NFTs, whatever.
But I think that's why there's a misleading direction away from kids' cartoons being for kids, because that's why it became so popular to be like My Little Pony and young kid cartoons.
There's still a bunch of young kid cartoons.
Yes, because they're marketable. They're marketable to kids.
Yeah.
Because kids will buy those. Like Doc McStuffins was a big one when my daughter was young, and I remember all the Doc McStuffins toys I had to buy. So it made sense. They sold a lot of toys.
Oh, yeah. And now here's the thing: in 25, 30 years, she'll be like, "Oh, I loved that thing. I'll spend or do, or there will be, maybe not her, but there will be people that will do that." But the same thing goes in your car community. It's like we've talked about that. The things that
it's
coming hot now because of nostalgia. It's like that when you put up about what one would you get from mid 90s, shitbox, cars, and I'm like, I looked at all of them like, none. I don't want any of those. I don't want those.
And see, that's one of the biggest problems that I know
now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would get the Supra because that was around in that time frame, and that's what I would get.
My dad has this nostalgia with early 80s vehicles because that's when he was 18.
Yep.
So he has this nostalgia, like, man, if I could have afforded these cars. But he drove 56 Chevys and like early Camaros at that time and wanted 80s cars. Yeah. So where I'm falling into now is I don't want any of that 80s stuff realistically. And I want the 60s stuff that he was actually driving when he was wanting the 80s stuff.
Yeah, everyone's back in.
It's all reversed.
Land. Yeah.
But I do run into a lot of people that are just like, why do you love 60s cars so much? I'm like, because they were beginning to be drivable, easier to work on. And, right now it's like, if I can go buy a 66 car cheaper than I can buy an 86 car, I don't want the 86 car. You can keep that. I mean,
I don't know. I think for me, you got to really, it depends what you want to do with the car. If you want to look at it and you're going for like the body lines and it just looks like a sleek ass car, that really depends on
what you think
definition for a pretty, but a lot of those cars that look like $1 million don't drive very good.
No.
You know what I mean? And so then you're talking about building a different thing, or you're talking like doing like Finnegan taking that Cadillac, which looks like $1 million, and now he's going to put all that underneath it and make it go. And resto mods make that sense only to the person who wants that thing.
Well, it's just like that 62 Buick we were talking about earlier. When it was in its heyday and everybody saw it at shows, everybody loved it. They gave a lot of money for it. Nobody would bid over $15,500 for it 20 years later. So there's a perfect example of a car that does not have a pedigree. It's just a 62 Buick. No one cares, even though it's the best version of one.
It's a cool thing. Well, I mean, is it the best version? It's the best version right now, maybe.
I don't think you're gonna build a better version of that.
I'm with Fox on this. I like weird shit that not a lot of people
I'll say the same thing. I do not like to show up to a car show and line up with the next 5 guys that have the same color Chevelle.
Oh yeah, if you see somebody who has, like, if I go somewhere and there's somebody with a Z, I'm just like, okay, that's kind of cool because you don't see a whole lot of them, and then I don't ever see anyone with the V8 swap, so that kind of keeps those pretty separate.
Yeah, it's like my buddy's dad. He has his original 67 Chevelle from when he was 16, and he had this car fully restored, frame off restoration. He hit a bridge with this car when he was 19. Hit a bridge. The frame had to be replaced.
I mean, okay, but
couldn't salvage it. He spent all the money to have this car restored, and you look at it and you're like, you could have just bought a different one. Like, that was a huge, but this was mine. This was my first car.
Well, so yes, that is the problem. That's the problem, and the thing that drives, let's face it, the classic car community is nostalgia. It's what makes poor decisions make sense.
The other side of this, spends all this money, get it all restored, barely drives it because he doesn't want it to get hurt because it's just pristine now. But when he shows up to a car show, because it's the factory color, factory SS, 396 car, blah, 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 he will show up to local car shows, and there will be 4 67 Chevelles with the same black Landau roof, 4-speed, 396 and butternut yellow. And they will all park next to you. They're like, look how cool it is. And the only way you can tell it's his car is because he doesn't have the factory wheels on it. And it's like, why? I would sell that car tomorrow if that was the case. Like, it's done.
Well, I mean, it depends. It doesn't have to be the most unique thing in a crowd. And if other people have a car, that's fine. If that's what you're into, if that car handling's what you're into, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Because I will drive a shitbox that is fun. And
there's nothing funner than driving a slow car fast.
Yes, seriously, it really is. It's one of the reasons I enjoy the X3 so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fast, but you put it on a dirt road that 25 should be pretty much the max you should be doing here, and you're doing 50. It's real fast.
Well, it's like the same people why people get so extremely hooked on like, fast boats are amazing, but a fast boat isn't that fast. I mean,
75 on the water is flying.
Exactly. And then you start going, well, you're only going 75 miles an hour. A dirt bike goes 75 miles an hour. But on the water, it's insane.
Well, it's like we had to talk about when I got that vibration that's going to get ready to come up on the series or on the channel with the drivetrain. It was like, okay, when it was all said and done, we can't go above 80 now. And it's like, do I need to keep chasing this down, or do I need to just stay under 80?
Just need to not do 80.
I'll just not do 80 anymore. Yeah, I feel like this is it's
intelligent odds here.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if I've bent, or if one of the bars is bent on the drive shaft, where the drive shaft mounts.
Well, have you had the drive shaft balanced?
Of course not.
Exactly. So there could have been a weight on there.
It was only in a T. Oh no, the weights are still there. There's nothing missing. I looked at that. And there's no obvious damage. Okay, something could have flown off, and I might not seen it. But there's no you'd see a tack missing or something. Right.
I mean, because I've seen drive shafts with flat washers welded to them. So I mean,
well, and that's what my next thing will be if I get to it, or when I get to it, I guess, is going to be to pull the drive shafts out, take them to a driveline shop, and have them checked. And if they're like, these are fine, I'll go, okay, well, we have a problem. Because I know when I take the drive shafts out, I don't have this vibration at all. And when I put them back in, I have, it's two drive shaft. It's a two-piece drive shaft from the rear to the front. So, yeah. And
you check the hanger bearing. That's all been replaced. You did.
I put the new bearing in that has the new, this is behind the scenes. Welcome to behind the scenes, everybody. Because this video hasn't come out yet. But it's got the new Sandcraft, so it's supposed to be the right spot. And takes the slop out of the viscous damper style pillow bearing or whatever. What do you call those?
Hanger bearing.
Is that just a hanger bearing?
Yeah, it's where two drive shafts connect to each other.
Yeah, so there's ones that have like a rubber boot around, and the whole thing is allowed to do its thing. And then there's ones that are hard mounted on like bearings, and there's no give in the drive shaft system. It comes to a hard point, changes angle, goes to, and so it changed from the pillow style to the hard angle, and that's how they got their patent and all of that shit.
And that started vibrating after you replaced that?
So I had a vibration at all times, at between 30.
Yeah, you had to replace it because it was broke.
Well, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't broke because you said it wasn't broke.
I picked up a vibration going to King Mountain, which is one of my longer runs, where in two-wheel drive between 30 and 45, somewhere in that range, I was picking up a vibration from the drive shaft. I could feel it. And I was like, I shouldn't be able to feel this when I'm not driving four-wheel drive. Because the drive shaft is always spinning because of the way the drive shaft and the front end locks. There's no disc. It's an always locked front end, essentially, is the way they have that. So the drive shaft's always spinning. So I was like, let me see what's going on. That's when I got in there and I grabbed the drive shaft. And there was a ton of play in the drive shaft. So I looked up some things. I was like, this has got to be it. Ordered the part. And, well, no, that's what I did. I took the drive shafts out and the vibration went away completely.
Yep.
I am here. What? I've been here for
3 hours.
I must have walked by your rig on the way to the shop and didn't notice it.
Yeah, we're not running fires down here.
I noticed.
Yeah.
I figured I'd double check.
Yeah, no problem. I'll shut it down.
No worries. All right.
You got everything turned off upstairs?
Yep, I just filled up the stove. It's all good.
Sweet.
If you wouldn't mind, before you leave, just double check to see how it's burning. I might have it to close down to where it's not burning at all or not enough.
Okay, so I'll take a look at it.
Thanks.
Later.
Should be good to go.
He's got done from his job and was checking everything. Night shift's over.
Night shift's over.
What was I talking about?
The bearing.
Oh, so yeah,
vibration once you removed the shaft.
So once I moved the shafts, there was no vibration at all. So I'm like, okay, it had to be something with drive shafts, probably that bearing. So I ordered the new bearing, which is the lockdown, put it where it's supposed to be. And that vibration went away. I did not have that vibration between 30, 45, or whatever it was. That vibration went away. However, I now get a very bad vibration at 80 and above. And I was like, okay, so we've gotten rid of the problem that I was having where I live in that 35 to 50 range on most of my riding. That's my normal riding range. So I was feeling that vibration all the time. Now I can't do 80. And I'm just like, well, I hardly ever do 80 and it'll be okay.
Guess we can't do 80 now.
Yep. Until one day I'll figure that out and go from there.
A million things. Maybe it's just wheels.
Well, so yeah. Let me
Because at any point during there, did you change tires and wheel combinations?
Oh yeah, I've done that multiple times.
Well, that could be it.
That has not affected it yet.
I mean, 80 mile an hour on wheels that are balanced enough is fine, but then above that, you can start getting some vibration.
I've same wheels, 2 different sets of rubbers.
And then you said when you pulled the drive shaft, it goes away at 80?
Yes. So same wheels. And yeah, I could go way above 80. I could go all the way up to like 87 or whatever was where I was topping out in 2-wheel drive with no drive shaft. I have no vibration at all.
Yeah, so it goes back to still something in that front end.
Well, no, it'd have to be the drive shafts. If you don't feel the vibration with no drive shafts, right?
Well, the front end locks and unlocks. It's locked all the time, right?
Essentially. All right. So my only other concern is this bar right here is where your mount is for your, bearing or whatever. So if that bar, which has no gusseting or anything to it in the center, takes a center bar hit and let's say moves it up, because
it could be messing up the angle of your drive shafts.
The angle, that could be some of the problem, and that could be what has caused everything the whole time. Which, to tell you the truth, it could have taken a hit at many of times. You know what I mean? So, which is also one of the reasons I'm building this frame, because I want to do it up and then take that frame that's already tweaked and pull it out and like really fix it and make it bulletproof.
Yeah. And then, when something vibrates, it'll definitely be your fault. Because you're like, I built this frame and I bolted everything to it, and it's not right. It's not right.
It's not even a fault thing. It's just you get into, it could be too at the right harmonics. It could be 100 different things, and that's why I've kind of like just let that one lie. I've had one time since I have gotten it to where it is now where I was like, shit, I got to back out at 80, and it was a Toyota truck that we were playing, and it was like, well, how fast can you go? And I was like, well, this is as fast as I can go. We're limited here.
It's how fast comfortably I can go because of
I bounced it to 80. I bounced it up to 82 and was like, it's not worth it. Nope, and brought it back down to like 79.
Because extreme vibration, something comes apart. There's nothing protecting you from those things coming apart into you.
Yeah, it depends where it's at. But it's mostly all plastic in there. Because the only thing you have stopping it is the seat bar that goes across over the top of it, and that's what's going to stop it from coming up. So as long as it's, but then there's not.
I'm talking more like something shrapnel in a gearbox somewhere, and it's sending it at you.
That's a problem in all kinds of. You should see these front drive shafts when they pretzel or twist. There's guys that are doing like max speed runs or been doing high speed runs, like 100+ mile an hour runs, in 2-wheel drive, and they twist the front drive shaft for whatever the reason is. And they were like, we weren't even in 4-wheel drive, and it's like, well, it's because of what you and I talked about. And then they're like, any bit of resistance or drag or anything can put enough. I mean, at that kind of speed,
this end's spinning. This end's not spinning at the same speed.
It doesn't take much. And then how? Also, these guys are at the dunes running offset tires, probably because it's a big paddle on the back and it's a skinny steer on the front, and you know what I mean. You start getting high speeds that play.
Well, and even think about it. If you're on sand and you got a paddle on the back, think about the load difference you're putting on the back. I mean, pulling trucks will actually run a different differential gear in the front because they know the front tires are going to be trying to spin faster than the rear because the load is all on the rear.
So that's why I've got paddles in the back and steers on the front. So the front tires can spin all they want. They're not really grabbing anything. It doesn't really hurt.
Yeah, because you're talking about spinning versus load. So four-wheel drive, if one's spinning and the other one's not, yeah, you can start breaking stuff real fast.
Yeah, and that's why you normally on these, when you run sand in the paddles in that way, you don't run an aggressive. If you're going to run four-wheel drive in those, you don't run an aggressive paddle. They've got these kind of small paddle weave design tires. Or you run like I got a set that's a paddle in the back and steer on the front, like a B steer or whatever.
Nice.
But, all right, man. We've been going for a while, brother. You know,
yeah,
I don't want to keep you up all night. I just was looking. I was like, dang, we've been. I've
made it past tired now, and I'm just straight into send it.
Yeah. Well,
but it is like 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably. I'll get you off. I really appreciate everyone coming in, dudes. I appreciate it always. Fox here from the beginning. If anyone else is still in the chat, let us know. We're gonna be getting out of here. Shopcat, it was good to see you. If you're still here, DAY Misfits.
I think he jumped out.
Everyone, Blake, if you're still around, thank you for our shout outs and donations. Again for DIY. I think that's everybody, man.
Fox can fix it.
Fox has been here all
working. He's been working.
Hey, listen, I'll be here to keep you going all night. Speed Rush, what's up, brother? Appreciate you. Well, we're going to hand it off there. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And, I mean, shoot, at this point, I'm going to try to go live every day. We'll see. See how far I make it. Who knows?
Yeah.